Hello, gearheads, and welcome to another episode of the Blind Mike Project. Go to blindmike.net for all links Blind Mike related. Now let's give it up for a host who needs no introduction, but likes to have one anyway. A man whose insight, wit, and charm entertain us week after week. Blind Mike Geary!
Settle down, thank you. I just want to get out ahead of it before we get any comments about it. The countdown annoyed me more than it did you, folks.
What?
I don't know why it was just my name over and over again. I'm the man who worked on that countdown so diligently, I'm very excited to introduce. Because, try and get past it, folks, we're going to do a show as we always do today. I know the question that will be on all of your mind, of course, is where's Craig? That's what people tune in for. They're worried that Craig's not here. I assure you, he's doing something above board. He's very busy with doing appropriate adult things, and so filling in for him as always is my pal Hackride. What's up, buddy?
Hello.
Gregers.
Hi, Gregers.
Gregers.
Yes. Hey, Blind Mike. How are you? Hold on. Gotta do my proper introduction. How are you? Yes, I am sorry about the introduction there. But blame DJ Electrify. She sent me that audio, and I had to use it. It's like WNBC. WN. She kept doing it over, and I'm like, that's the intro.
I don't hate it if the goal is to drive everyone away that immediately tunes into the show, like is on time, then I think it's a good method.
Well, imagine
just annoy the shit out of people.
Well, imagine if you're just waking up. It will remind you. Oh, Blind Mike's on. Yes.
Oh, that's who's hosting. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right, I like that.
Yes.
So Hackride's back, and is
I apologize, people.
People enjoyed his episode a couple weeks ago. There's a couple notes I get on Hackride a lot that I want to address at the top of the show today.
It's 7 a.m. here. You're going to give me notes. All right, here we go.
Well, first of all, I wanted to point out a lot of people in the comments, I notice, really like your voice. I've never read a criticism about it. People seem to really enjoy it. I guess my question is, would Casey Day ever consider podcasting, or is Hackride kind of the face of the company?
Hackride is the face of the company. The demon runs everything. But yes, this shows that Mike doesn't listen to my channel, which is very sad, because Casey Day is the producer for DJ Electra Show.
I gotta say, I kind of like Hackride's voice. People get very angry about it. I'm enjoying it right now. It doesn't seem too crazy to me. I think that's the voice a demon should have.
Yes, and I've been spending time trying to make it less annoying. Trust me, I'm an audio engineer, so I take all those comments to heart.
Right.
But it isn't my program, so leave me alone.
Okay, now the other note I wanted to address, because this one I worry about. You don't think that I at all look ridiculous critiquing the likes of, say, Bert Kreischer, we're going to talk about today. Very successful comedian. Do you think I look a little ridiculous critiquing him with a demon by my side? I don't think so. But for some reason, people in the comments keep mentioning that.
Well, let's... we can say demon or a masterful producer, because it's how you frame it. Right?
That's exactly, and that's how I look at you. But sometimes people say things like, who Mike's a complete hack. Mike does all these goofy... Who is he to criticize anyone when he has all these stupid bits on his show? And I don't understand where that comes from. It seems outrageous to me.
Well, you crossed that bridge when you had a potato on, and then you went on David Collins. You've entered surreal land, and you can't leave, Mike. I'm sorry, we won't let you.
I'll defend my guy Hack right here. That's the amazing thing is people kept saying like, "Oh, he's on with a demon. This is stupid." I'm like, well, there's also a potato on the other side of me.
Yes.
Let's focus on how ridiculous the whole picture is.
Yes, I have 9 characters, and like 4 of them are human. That's one potato, no human.
Right. All right.
By the way, our guest is here, by the way.
Oh, well, it's about fucking time.
Yes.
Real quick, before we introduce him, I do want to say, because it's related to our guest, I saw that our buddy David Collins was on Who Are These Podcasts this week.
Yes, he's a rocket to stardom, that one. David Cullen.
I'll credit my pal David, because he threw out the Blind Mike Project a few times. He kept plugging us and mentioning that we gave him an opportunity to guest host. And David is the one that pointed out that that's where Carl saw David Collins and invited him on the show. This Carl guy, this weasel, acted like he didn't know who I was. Just move right on. But no, David, I don't know who you're talking about. Thank God for Kindy pointing out. Kindy is the one bright spot on that show. I've always said. I fast forward all the way to the reviews at the end just to hear Kindy, because she was the only one that pointed out, yes, I heard David on the Blind Mike Project. Carl, who I do a show with every week, is like, who's that guy? Never heard of him.
Yes, Carl is on one right now. He's like, find every troll and loser in this universe and put them on my show right now. It's crazy.
I don't know if that's how I describe him, but my point is...
Where's my call, Carl? I'm a loser. I didn't get a call.
I brought David Collins from nothing.
Yes,
and look at him now. He's rocketing past us, and Carl can't even acknowledge that. That's what's so frustrating.
And again, let's take the time to acknowledge that I'm still here. Yes, I've gotten opportunities and blew them, pretty publicly, obviously. But here I still never missed a day of cutting clips, never missed a day of supporting the Blind Mike Project.
That's true. Yeah, before you guys make a negative comment about Hackride, just acknowledge how much more work he does than Craig. I think that's an important thing to note. It's not even close.
Yes, no work on myself, just on the show. Craig does all his work on himself. He needs to.
So, David Collins, go check out our buddy on WATP. But a man I discovered through David Collins. I give credit where it's due, unlike some snaggletooth ladies out there. That's right. I'm on John's side.
Oh, God.
But giving credit where it's due, through David Collins, I discovered our guest today, who I am a fan of, Iowa-based comedian, I think. I did no research on this guy, but it's Austin Ingels. What's up, buddy?
How you doing, man? Thanks for having me.
Are you from Iowa? I don't want to get that wrong. I just assume you are because of David Collins.
I live in Iowa right now, but I'm from Illinois, actually.
Okay. How do you get hooked up with a guy like David Collins?
To tell you the truth, David Collins is an enigma. I'm not really sure how I crossed paths with him, to be honest with you.
That word scared me for a second.
An enigma?
Well, you know, we're a little shocked. We have a little shock over here in the Calverse. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's I didn't know that Craig wasn't going to be here. I don't know if I would have agreed to it if I knew Craig wasn't going to be here.
I understand. We get that a lot.
I'm just kidding, guys. I'm fucking honored to be here, Mike. I appreciate it.
Can I ask you this about? I'm fascinated by.
Ask me anything you want, man. Ask me anything you want.
Has he broken in front of you? Like, do you know the real guy, or is that the real guy?
He has broken in front of me. He's broken down. He's cried. I've been there bedside with his mother.
Okay. I hear a lot about the mother. Yes.
Oh my God, what a treat she is. And this Jerry guy, I never got to meet Jerry. That's who I want to meet. Is Jerry.
Jerry's another one I worry about. He's missing now, apparently.
He went missing. I was on like the third or fourth episode, I think, of the David Collins. I'm an OG, if you will. And Jerry wasn't there. I think he might be. I don't know. This Jerry guy, he's as elusive as David Collins' real personality is.
Well, like I said, go check out. I guess David Collins is doing a live show. Are you going to be part of that?
I am a part of that.
What is that, February 9th?
February 9th, the Lucky Cat in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Yeah, comedy club.
I know we have a massive Iowa base, so go check that out if you're in the Iowa area.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, man, I'm a big fan of you, so I really do appreciate you for having me on.
Thank you, buddy.
I don't get this whole Lauren, don't look at my big tits, but here my big tits Conrad beef. You know what I mean? What's she doing?
Lauren Compton. We'll talk about her. I guess
Compton,
Hackride has some clips of her too. We'll get into that.
Hackride, what's going on, man? How you doing?
I am looking at Lauren Compton right now. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Can we just start with that then? You want to play a couple clips of her?
Let's jump into that. Why not? Fuck it.
All right. Yes, so, for those of you that don't have Twitter, Lauren Compton and I have been batting eyes at each other. You know, I think she wants a piece. And
Lauren Compton. Did I say Conrad? It's not Conrad? It's
that would be nice. If Lauren Conrad had a crush on me, that'd be fun.
This one's better.
That's fantastic.
All right, so Hackride has a couple clips, I guess, to tell us who Lauren Compton is exactly. I don't know much about her. I know she does a podcast on the Your Mom's House network, but
yes, this is the one I was telling you about a couple weeks ago. This is her Matt Rife interview, and she decided to dress like a whore. It's amazing. All right, here we go.
How would you feel if a girl told you she had a lesbian phase? Would that be a red flag?
No, not at all. I say do whatever makes you happy. I don't mind.
It'd be like
when I was younger, it would have been more alarming because I've dated multiple girls in like full length relationships that ended up being lesbian after we've dated.
What?
And I used to have to ponder. I used to have to go, man, offended by this. But then I thought, no, if I'm the last dick you ever have, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. That's a bit of a
Hey, eye fucking.
accomplishment, I think. To be somebody's last.
I think that this is the
You can
guy
have that
we're
with
listening to right now is a person that the TikTok world thinks is like dangerous.
Yeah.
He's a madman.
The bad boy of comedy, Matt Rife.
He
Yes,
needs to be stopped.
Yeah.
Your daughter to be
With all-
straight, apparently.
With all his edgy jokes about domestic abuse.
But with a
that he
lesbian, or
got
you can
from
have
a 1930s comic.
What do you think of Matt Rife, Austin? He's grown on me the last few weeks. The
I-
more he's
I-
defended
I-
himself, the more he's grown on me.
Don't make me pull the video, Austin. I have the
Oh,
video.
Sorry.
I have
Yeah,
the video
yeah.
of you. And
Oh, yeah.
he's your friend.
That was promo, dude. That was promo because I was headlining at the Lucky Cat. So you wouldn't believe how many people actually thought that I had Matt Rife opening for me because I said.
Oh, did you
that.
make a video with Matt Rife?
I made a video when his special came out. It was like the week that I headlined at the Lucky Cat in Cedar Rapids, and so I, just used that hype for my advantage. And there were some dumb people that actually believed that Matt Rife was opening for me in Cedar Rapids.
That's
Got me.
smart.
I got you, Hackride.
We played a clip where the chemistry between you two is amazing.
Oh, it's impalpable.
We played a clip a few months ago that some comedy club in I think Springfield, Missouri, was promoting Dan Soder, and tickets were not moving fast. So they did a raffle where if you buy a Dan Soder ticket, you get a chance to win a Matt Rife ticket.
Oh no!
So people are using this guy's name however they can to fucking move merchandise.
Oh, no, Dan Soder. That's crazy too because he's like he's an established name. So
He's great.
that's
Yeah,
cool.
like I'd much
And
rather
he-
see
yeah,
a
and
Dan
he's
Soder
great.
show than a
Oh
Matt
my
Rife
God.
show.
10 times out of 10. And hang out
Can we
with
get-
Dan Soder. He seems like a great hang.
Right. Is there more here, Hackride?
There's a little more. There's a little more
Hackride, what's
tits.
up?
have that with somebody who's like 95.
All right, that was actually all.
I guess there wasn't.
No, but there's tits on stage right now. That's why. I just wanted to look. This is who's flirting with Blind Mike on Twitter. People.
I imagine I would be a terrible guest on that show, right?
I would
No.
love it. I think this is a great lane for you to just start getting on there. It's a first date. This is a new show.
I'll do
Comics
it if we
Hero
can
produced,
get me on
you know?
there somehow. I'll definitely do it. But I don't have
Oh.
like great
Alright.
sexual conquests or anything to tell her about.
Oh, well,
That's
you can
know,
always lie. I mean,
I'll
you
come
know.
on there with you.
Suppose.
We could just make some stories up.
that'd be fun. That'd be
That'd be
fun if
tight.
I became if I could think of something that made me like that Million Little Pieces guy. You know, think of some
Yeah, that-
inspirational story.
Yeah.
Well, how many women have you made lesbian, Mike?
3 more than Matt Rife.
There we go. That's
All right. Can we get into I want to get into Brendan Schaub, for Christ's sake, before we do any more.
Oh.
So,
Wowzer.
are you aware of the latest controversy with Brendan Schaub, Austin?
oh, hold on, Mike.
Um,
Hold on, you guys. This is not the Craig type of show. We're doing this
Oh, we're running
correctly.
things professional. I'm sorry.
Yes, here
Hackride,
we go.
what's next?
Brendan, your future's in doubt. Without a producer who can figure shit out, may I volunteer a demon so fine? A producer free agent, thick by design. Hire Hackride, you cauliflower-eared dum-dum.
Brendan Schaub?
Yeah. Yes.
The fuck is
sorry.
this?
No,
What
I'm
was
just,
that?
I use the opportunity to put it out there. You put it
Jumping
out there.
ship?
No,
That's
what do you mean? That's working for the Blind Mike show inside like a Trojan horse. What are you talking about, Mike? Come on.
All right.
Some
Yeah.
strategy.
Brendan, hire Hackride, please.
Yes.
Because it's actually a good segue. Because apparently
Thank
he'll
you.
just hire anybody and then like sneakily fire them after. Where he's going to explain in this clip, but there's a controversy on the Fighter and the Kid subreddit where a guy. The premise of the show, The Golden Hour, is that fans just send in selfie videos of themselves with questions for the guys. And there's a guy that weighed like 450 pounds and he got down to 190 or something. Brendan
Jesus.
Schaub flew him out, hung out with him. They had a nice time. And then Brendan Schaub hired him, gave him a job. He was like, I like you, kid. Give him a job. So the kid uprooted his life, moved out there, and then Brendan Schaub had to fire him recently. Now, my argument would be if the kid's not doing his job or you can't afford him, like Brendan Schaub's had financial struggles. He just had like $3 million stolen from him in that whole podcast scam that
Really?
was going on, that Theo Vaughn was a victim of, and a lot of other Whitney Cummings, I think, a lot of those guys.
Damn.
So Brendan Schaub to fire this guy, I would say, like, well, that's up to you. You're a businessman. You got to fire him. But Reddit was really going after Brendan. So he
As they do.
caved. He caved to public pressure, apparently. And that's what they're addressing in this clip on The Fighter and the Kid.
Okay.
You guys want to discuss it now?
Oh yeah, let's talk about.
Oh, this, by the
yeah.
way, was a setup thing where their producer is, like, emotional. And Bryan Callen's like, why are you so sad? He's like, I don't know. Do you guys want to... It's just been a tough day around here. Do you guys want to get into it? And they're like, you know, I suppose we should. And it's like, you asked him. Well, of course you knew what he was wrong. Why are you setting it up like this? It was very fake already.
George.
Yeah.
Let's talk about George for a sec, guys. So there's been a lot of misinformation. George did not get fired.
No.
George was asked. You need somebody with more experience in.
He was
right
asked
now
to
as-
get the fuck out. Like, we didn't fire him. We didn't use that word. We just said, you know, pack your trash. We're not paying anymore, and kindly leave. That's a firing.
Yeah, good luck on being homeless in LA.
Thick Boy's expanding into different areas.
Yeah, when you have like full producer,
Not a
like
22-year-old.
Casey, no.
Right. And so everybody loves George. So what I think you did was offered him a different Lex, who runs the company.
Lex run CFO
offered
yeah.
him something else.
Correct.
You are not a good person for that job to go and even talk to George, because you're very attached to George emotionally. I'm gonna speak for Brendan for a second, guys. You're very attached to him.
Love George,
You're
yeah.
terrible at any kind of
Comedy, podcasting, fight analysis.
I'm gonna speak for Brendan because he can't form a thought.
Haircuts.
position.
This is what Callen is great at, and if you can, folks, find a friend like Bryan Callen, because he will go to bat for Brendan Schaub. Like, defend this guy to the death. I think on some level, Callen probably feels guilty for getting Brendan into stand-up.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of on Bryan Callen, and he's like, maybe I've fucked this guy's entire life up. Like, by getting him into comedy, he changed the trajectory of his life to where he was like a respected fighter, I think. I don't know the fighting world enough to
I'm
know
not
if that's
sure,
true,
yeah.
But yeah. But let's
Didn't he have
pretend.
to? Didn't Joe Rogan like convince him to retire or whatever? Isn't that the
Rogan convinced him to
story or
retire.
whatever?
That's where You'd Be Surprised comes from. Is Brendan said, I forget who he was talking about, but he said he could win some fight. And
Yeah.
Joe goes, "Do you really think that?" And Brendan goes, "I think you'd be surprised." And Rogan goes, "Really? Because I think you'd be surprised." And that's where the name of his special comes from. And then within that special, he changes the story of how he retired from fighting. It's very weird.
Classic.
Firing or anything. You're the worst. You're the fucking worst. And so
we might have to go back because we either talked over something or Bryan Callen just had a beautiful moment of truth there. Where it's like, Brendan, I've watched Gringo Poppy, and I got to tell you something.
You're the worst.
You're very attached to him.
Love George.
You're
yeah.
terrible at any kind of repositioning, firing, or anything. You're the worst. You're the fucking worst. And so we know this about you. So we have other people that actually run the mechanics and day-to-day operation of Thick Boy. Yes? Okay. I'm just speaking and you tell me when I'm wrong. So George is
Why
somebody
is
all of us
Bryan
here.
talking like he runs Brendan's company?
That's what I mean. This is like
He's
This
like,
is
we
like-
know you're terrible at this, so we have someone. He's like Brendan's handler. Like, Brendan is special needs, and Bryan handles all of
Yeah.
his business for him.
We have a Master Blaster situation here.
It's
It's a
weird
Mad Max
because
reference.
Brendan is
big
like
reference.
Brendan is a mogul. All of his businesses are struggling, but he has a lot of irons in the fire. And yet Bryan is talking like, Brendan, so we held your hand through this. We have all your handlers are very worried about this. Like everyone's in place to make sure that you don't make any decisions here. So the defense of Brendan Schaub is that you're so incompetent that you have nothing to do with any of these decisions. So why are people blaming you?
You know what's crazy about Brendan Schaub? Back in October, he was coming to Dubuque, Iowa at the Comedy Bar, and I was going to host for him the whole weekend.
Ooh.
and which I'm glad I didn't because he's like a notorious joke thief apparently.
Okay.
So he, you know why he ended up backing out of the weekend, because I don't know if you follow him at all. Oh shit. I don't know if you follow him at all. Sorry guys. But he like got some new truck and he backed out of the weekend because the truck was ready that weekend.
Oh, well, you might have been at the precipice of the start of Toontown. That's his new show.
Yeah, I had no idea that was a thing either. So yeah, that must have been right around that time that it was starting up.
Actually, Hackride, while we're playing this clip, can you find if Toontown is still in existence? Because I haven't doubled back on that in a while.
I've never even heard of it.
Oh, so he does a car show now that's basically like a ripoff of Pimp My Ride?
Oh, hell no.
He started it, and it just seemed flawed in the sense that it's Brendan presenting another skill that he has. It's like, hey,
what?
I'm not just a fighter, stand-up podcaster. I'm also a car guy.
Blind
What
Mike,
does Toontown have to do with cars?
I have some good news for you.
I think it's like tuning up, like giving cars a tune.
Oh, tune. I thought you said tomb, like a fucking coffin.
Oh, no. I wish.
You can hear me, Blind Mike, yes?
Yes, Hackride, what's up?
4 days ago, Brendan Schaub learned how to drift. So yes, it is still going, and he learned how to drift 4 days ago. Amazing.
How are the views doing on that?
3 point, they're around Blind Mike project numbers.
See, that's what's weird to me. Is that Brendan is this massively famous guy, and to use Hackride's phrase, he's doing Blind Mike project numbers, which
are great. You're doing great, Mike. You're doing great.
It's both hurtful and kind of a compliment to me that we're in the same league as Brendan Schaub.
I'd take it as a compliment.
Care about, and right now I think you guys offered George something else within the company
else where he doesn't have to, because now he's killed himself coming in every day.
Yeah, so he doesn't want to do
different
that.
role.
Hold on, come back a little bit. So we've offered him something where we never have to fucking see the guy. What we've done is we've maneuvered it so that, in an ideal world, I don't have to interact with him. That's really, if we're gonna have to pay him, as long as he's out of our mind, out of sight, out of mind,
I love the guy, but I don't want to see him.
If everything's perfect, if I had my way, guy would keep getting paid. I'd never have to interact with him. That's a beautiful world. What a defense of this man George that he brought in.
Yes, we love you. Here's an invisibility cloak. Get out of here.
Yes. Okay. I'm just speaking, and you tell me when I'm wrong. So George is somebody all of us here care about, and right now I think you guys offered George something else within the company.
Just what the mafia calls a no-show job.
Don't want to
a different role. His thing was, it's not that he doesn't want to be here, but he has other opportunities, which I also helped him facilitate.
Right? Yeah.
He has 2 good ones, which I helped him facilitate.
The mixed messages going on here. Brendan's like, listen, the guy, we just can't keep him. We're doing everything we can to hang on to this guy, but he's got so many other irons in the fire. We can't. This guy's so busy, we at Thick Boy Studios just can't hang on to him. And then Bryan Callen admits, well, we're going to find him those opportunities, right? Which Callen is now fucking up by defending Brendan. He's now fucking up Brendan's entire defense here.
Yeah, just poking holes in it.
I don't know. By the way, what's hilarious about this clip that we're watching is, like, to us, the Blind Mike Project cast and crew, this is just Brendan Schaub fired a guy that was a fan of the show. Doesn't seem that controversial to me. Like, if the guy's not worth the money they're paying him, they have the right to fire him. But this is all the impetus for this clip is all hinged upon Reddit feedback, which is amazing to me. After all these years, Brendan is still responding to that. Like, you gotta, Bappa, listen to me. You gotta get off the Reddit comment. Like, they're never gonna like you. You're not gonna win them over. You can win guys like me over by being a little self-deprecating, but
yeah, have fun with it. You know what I mean? Like, what other lane are you gonna go to at this point? Like, obviously, his comedy isn't as respected as he wants it to be. So
right, he was on the edge of self-deprecation at Skankfest. I saw. I don't think we ever played the clip, but Jeremiah Watkins' Stand Up on the Spot came out.
I did see that. Yep,
a couple months ago, and Brendan, like, he was self-deprecating in that. He was pretty good. Now the problem with Brendan is his comedy chops aren't like just thinking off the cuff, riffing in a scenario like that. He's not great still. So it's not like this crazy, hilarious moment that Brendan has, but it is like him being honest for one of the first times in his life. And I think if he framed himself in a way, if he had guys around him that bust his balls, like Tim Dillon or Louis J. Gomez are the two I always think of that would definitely do that with him, then I think that could change his image a little bit. But he's appealing to people that will never like him. Like they've dug their heels in.
And like his comedy fans aren't, your general. I mean, I don't think that they bleed over into actual, comedy.
No, they're male bimbos. They're there because Brendan's big and strong, and they like looking at his muscles, and
as he
they
calls
think he's
them,
cool.
thick boys.
Yeah, the thick boys.
The thick boys.
I'm a thick boy myself.
Hey, you wear it well, Mike. You wear it well.
I understand. Like if those don't work out, he can come back here. That it's always open. I love George. I talked to George probably more than anybody in here besides you.
Yeah, and I talked to him too. And we're gonna.
I talk to him every day.
If I can help him game plan, and I said,
no, dude, that's why people got to. You know how far Georgie has. This is my conversation with today. Me and him talked in person. You know how far Georgie has come. You got to think about it. I met George when he was 450 pounds on King and the Sting. He sent in a submission. Because my goal is to get down to 190, you blah, blah, blah. I'm a thick boy. I said, Georgie, you get down to 190, I'll fly you here live in studio. Year later, calls in, he's 190. I fly him in. He's such a good. If you ever meet George,
it seems like what happened is this guy, Brendan's like, hey, buddy,
George,
if you lose 260 pounds, I'll fly in, fine. And then, a year later, George is like, hey, Brendan, I did it. And Brendan's like, fuck.
Yeah.
I never thought I'd see that guy again.
Yeah.
You're a bad reader, dude. You're
Emma, give him the presidential suite. He's living like a king.
Oops,
pounds. On King and the Sting.
What's happening here?
Sent in a submission because
hit the wrong button.
Oh, he's
StreamYard,
killing
you need to make these
every
bigger.
day.
Yeah, so he doesn't want to
a
do
different
that.
role. His thing was, it's not that he doesn't want to be here, but he has other opportunities, which
Well, we're
I
gonna
also
find him
helped
other
him
opportunities,
facilitate.
right? Yeah.
He has two good ones, which I helped him facilitate. So I understand. Like if those don't work out, he can come back here. That it's always open. I love George. I talked to George probably more than anybody in here besides you.
Yeah, and I talked to him too, and we're gonna.
I talk to him every day.
If I can help him game plan, and I said,
no, dude, that's why people got to. You know how far Georgie has. This is my conversation with today. Me and him talked in person. You know how far Georgie has come. You got to think about it. I met George when he was 450
We just decided to stunt that growth.
On King
this is a guy that's come a long way, and I thought, progress be damned, he's out of here.
Yeah.
Hit the bricks, fatso.
Let me give you all this momentum, uproot your life, and then I'm just going to make it even worse than it was.
Yeah. Hey, listen, every street comes to an end at some point, and you hit a dead end, my friend. Now beat it, pack your trash, and get out of here.
And here's a bag of Twinkies.
Because my goal is to get down to 190, you blah, blah, blah. I'm a thick boy. I said, Georgie, you get down to 190, I'll fly you here live in studio. Year later, calls in, he's 190. I fly him in. He's such a good. If you ever meet George, you can't help but love the kid. Fly him in here. I love him. I go, dude, come to San Antonio with me. Ever stay in a nice hotel? Never. Cool. It's the first time on a plane, too. Fly him to San Antonio, put him up at our favorite hotel, Hotel Emma, give him the presidential suite. He's living like a king, bring him on stage. And then I was like, can't stop here, dude. I'll find a job for you.
That's you. That's you.
That's me.
That's you. If you know, yeah, that's you.
Aren't I the greatest guy ever? I said to myself, I did this litany of beautiful things for the man. And then I said, I can't stop here. I'm going to give him a job he's not qualified for. And then rip the rug out from under him in a year. And then pretend I'm not allowed to do that for some reason. Like, Brendan, you're allowed to fire the fucking guy. You hired him on a whim. You made a bad hire, apparently, it seems. And you just have to live with that decision. It's not that big a deal. But listen to fucking Mother Callen jumping in here.
But so he went from zero skills to he can edit now.
Yep.
He can cut clips. He can do social media. He's
But here's the problem with you. Here's the problem with you. You get emotionally attached to everybody.
Correct. I shouldn't be running a business.
And I
also don't hire.
And
him.
I think that is a liability for
running
you.
a business. If we, if we could get that clarity with Brendan for just like a few other things, it's like, you're right, I shouldn't be tuning up cars and putting it on YouTube.
Because sometimes you got, yeah.
I'm a bad reader.
Well, it's not that you're a bad reader, dude. You're just very optimistic.
We're not talking about books.
Some jobs, if you're running a company,
That too, though, Brandon.
you are going to need a 30-year-old person who has a lot of experience to
can
run
see
shit,
it,
and you have to be a
do background checks.
And yeah, but you also have to be the
Okay,
kind of
so
guy.
now here's where they're fucking up, is because they just went on a diatribe about how great this George guy is, how great he is at everything. And now what Brendan's saying is, and if I'm George, this is all I'm hearing, is Brendan saying, I'm not qualified to hire people. I wish I had someone doing background checks on these people because I'm not a good boss. I hire losers. It's what Brendan Schaub is saying after they just went off about what an amazing guy George is. What they were really saying is, aren't we amazing for hiring George? Which is a weird angle to take.
That is like
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
people that run a.
I also
Go ahead,
read
Austin.
that he just got banned from the Comedy Store. Did you guys see anything about that? I don't know how
No,
true
that
that
Brendan's
is.
banned?
Yeah, from the LA Comedy Store. It wasn't on Reddit. I think this was on a Twitter thread. So who knows how
See if
true that
see if you
is.
can find that Hackride while we.
I will take a look.
Yeah.
business are
They're sharks.
way more ruthless than you.
And I'm not.
They go, it's not working. You got to get out of here.
Yeah,
That's the way it's
I'm not like that.
not like that. Not
from
like
it.
that. Well, let me just tell you about Brendan. So just so people know, the number of people that we've had who we all love, and they were all great, but there were things sometimes where this person, I'm not talking about George in this case, I'm talking about in the 12 years we've been here, I think we've had probably 8 or 9 real discussions about you calling me and saying, I don't know what to do with this person. They're not doing their job. And it's driving me crazy because I'm paying them
George sucks at his job.
a fortune.
I was
A fucking
George sucks at his job. Why can't they fire him?
Yeah, this doesn't
Because he lost weight, Mike.
Why are they now doing this thing like?
because he's in good shape. They have to
I mean, George is incredible, and he learned social media, which is a weird thing to be
Why-
like. This is what this job provided him: is he learned how to tweet.
I'm about as technology savvy as an 80-year-old man. That's why obviously I was late to this. Well, I wasn't late necessarily, but they make it seem like cutting a clip and posting on social media is hard. That's one of the easiest things to do at this point in social media stage. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
TikTok
Well,
and Instagram make it so easy.
I can't do it. I'm not good at it because of
Really?
mostly. I blame my eyes mostly, but that's why Hackride handles that stuff. But I would also say that's why I don't work for a major podcast in that role. I'm not applying to cut clips for shows because I can't do that. So if this George guy didn't know how to do that and that's what he was hired for, that's just
That's a whole
on
can of
them.
worms.
Why are they acting like, what we need is someone that can hire people that are actually qualified for their jobs.
Yeah.
It's like that should be you guys. You're running the business.
A successful one supposedly too. Like you're on the air. How many episodes a week do they drop? I don't even
I think
follow them
2. I
anymore
think
at
Fighter
this
and the
point.
Kid do 2, but Brendan does
Fighter
like
and the
3 or
Kid.
4.
Insane.
Yeah. But it's like it's a weird thing. Like if Hackride just reached out to me one day and was like, I don't know how to cut clips, but I'd love to do them for you. And I was like, have you lost weight recently? Then you're in.
What's the scale looking like for you?
Yeah.
No, you gotta lie. That's how I got that job. Yeah, sure, I know how to cut clips. I had no idea.
It paid off.
Yes.
fortune. And I would be like, okay. And then what would we always say? What would we always say? Finish my sentence.
You would go, yeah, but you're not going to do anything.
No, I'd say, and you know what we're going to do about this?
Absolutely
And
nothing.
you'd say absolutely nothing because
And
I
we'd leave
can't
them, we'd
confront
leave them
it.
on board for another year at least.
Right.
Until it gets so toxic or
Well,
they
whatever it
leave or
is,
something.
whatever
Yeah.
the case, you know, and that's not the way to run a business.
No,
Right, so he's just
So we have a
shitting after they talk about how great this George guy is. They're like, we've tried to fucking get him out of here, and he won't leave. Like, just be honest. Say we felt guilty. We gave this guy a job out of pity. We feel bad now, but we got to get rid of him. I can't afford to keep him on. Just be honest about what you're doing, Brendan. It's fine.
Yeah.
If Brendan was just honest about who he was, I think he would win over a lot more people.
Oh, he would. Well, like the whole canceling of the show thing that wasn't the only show he canceled. Like in that little run of tours that he was doing around
Right.
October of 2023, and he wasn't honest about any of them. Like we all can see your social media. You're going to buy a truck, and then you give another reason. Like, dude, just be honest.
Right. If he said things like, every once in a while you get a glimpse of honesty from Brendan where he's like, listen, like I'm not as good as a lot of other comics at my level, but I've only been doing it for, 5-6 years, whatever. That's pretty early for most comics. Like, I think I'm going to come a long way. I've learned from my mistakes, all that type of shit. I think that would be endearing to people. But instead we played like the interview he did with Coach HP, our guy, where he's like comparing himself to Louis C.K. and Bill Burr. And he's like, I'm way further along in my career than they were 6 years in. And it's like,
the
Brendan, for the wrong reasons.
Exactly. Absolutely. It's not for your like comedic, your writing or anything like that. No one's ever been like, wow, this Brendan Schaub joke, you should hear it.
Well, a lot of the guys we talk about, like Opie and Tom Myers and Stuttering John and Matt Rife, I would say even, like, they don't have any self-awareness. And I think Brendan does not have a lot of self-awareness, but I think he's the closest to, like, breaking. I think he's the closest to being able to see some of his issues and kind of change. Now, the further we go through the years, that seems less and less true. But it's why I started, like, it's why I started the Schaub mob, like people that support Brendan, and just try and get him to fucking understand that there are things that people do like about him, and there are things that people mock, and he should embrace both of those.
Yeah, that's what comedy is, embrace your insecurities and bring them to light. But I don't know, man. It doesn't seem like he can articulate that very well. I mean,
there's
Callen has to do all of it for him.
Yeah, that I think it hurts him having Nana Callen step in and defend him at every turn.
Yeah, every time, every step of the way.
22-year-old who we all care about, who we want to win, and he will win, and I'll do what I can, to help him gain.
But Georgie has a great resume now, his skills.
And he's also a great kid. So.
And also, when he came in today to tell me.
And did a great job here, by the way.
He has a great resume.
Let's put that on record.
Excuse me, Mr. Bezos. Yes, I worked for Brendan Schaub. Would you care to hire me?
Thick boy. Gringo Pop.
Hello, Netflix. You're familiar with Thick Boy Studios?
But he came in today, me and him talked in person.
Yes, the company that was scammed out of millions of dollars. That's the one. Yes, I worked there.
Tell me, like, if it's going to be a part-time thing, like, I'd rather just go somewhere full-time. I get that, dude. I get that. Love Georgie.
Well, that's a win. That's the goal, to go from here.
And it's hard. He's 22. This is his first job, really.
Yeah.
He's coming straight out 22 from his background. So it's like, he's just getting more experience. That's all it is.
Well, I mean, I told him when I talked to him, I said, this is good. It's that Jocko Willick thing. Good. Now
this is where the boys are trying a little too hard, where they're like,
why do they always got to bring like Cameron Haynes and Jocko into this shit? Like, not every situation applies to those guys. Like,
hey, you know what this is exactly like? An episode of the Joe Rogan Experience.
Exactly. Just a rip off of Joe Rogan.
But this is them saying, hey, you know what? We've talked about this for a couple minutes now, and it started with us feeling guilty and talking about how great George is. But, the longer we talk, the more we're realizing we deserve pats on the back here. Like, we kind of deserve a Is there a cake for us? We deserve congratulations for what we did for this man. We are actually pretty dynamite. Like, look at what we did.
Yeah. From his background, so it's like, he's just getting more experience. That's all it is.
Well, I mean, I told him when I talked to him, I said, this is good. It's that Jocko Willick thing. Good.
No, you know what it is? It's not Jocko Willick. It's horseshit HR speak.
Yeah.
Where they're like, and hey, we're going to write you a heck of a recommendation.
Yeah, if you need to go anywhere, we got you.
Yeah. Hey, us saying what a great job you did, that's like not just equal to a paycheck. I think it exceeds. Like, that's worth its weight in gold, my friend. Take that.
You know what? Our word around Hollywood is huge.
Yeah. Go to your bank, wherever you have, where you have your direct deposit set up. Walk into the bank and say, hey, Bryan Callen says I'm a great guy. What is that? Are my numbers tallying up there? What's my checking account at now?
How am I looking? What's my retirement at?
Bryan Callen likes me.
All right, Mike, that was the
guy
end of the
from
video.
The Hangover.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the guy from Old School in The Hangover.
Yeah.
No, not that one. The other one.
No, yeah, you just missed him. You just missed him.
Mike, would you like to do some super chats?
Yeah, please, let's catch up on that. But first, I do want to, terrible hosting by me. I meant to ask Austin, what do you have to promote, my friend? Where can people find you?
Oh, I am on, I'm on them all. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook. Just search Austin Ingels, Ingels, and you'll find me. I think it's Austin Ingels Comedy on YouTube.
I saw you promoting a podcast, but is that regularly going?
Kind of. We do, we're very sporadic. We're not as consistent as we want to be. And we it started off as a movie podcast. My friend JD Spetz, he started his own movie podcast where he reviewed movies and almost like a rewatchable format, if you know what the rewatchables is with Bill Simmons.
Boy, do I. I've ripped it off. Yes.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, we shamelessly ripped it off essentially. And we kind of changed the format to like a comedy, just to talk about whatever we want, just not just make it movie biased. But we realized that audiences were cut in half when we did that. There's a lot of comedy podcasts, so we oversaturated ourselves. So I think we're going to change the format and go back to movies. So.
We'll go follow Austin, and then he'll tell you where to find his podcast and everything like that. Go follow him on Instagram, Twitter, all of that. Check out Austin.
Yeah, I post a clip a week usually. Been consistent since June.
Nice.
But yeah, just trying to move up.
Let's catch up on these super chats, Hackride.
All right, DJ Electrify, would you like to turn your camera on?
Oh, good. DJ Electrify is here.
Yes, Austin Ingels, meet DJ Electrify.
Oh, wow. Tasty.
DJ Electra here. Good morning, everybody.
Yes, good morning. All right, let's
Nice to
get
meet
to
you.
these. I'll put them up, you read them.
You too, Austin. All right, so we got from Drew P. Balls. Hola, Gearheads. $4.99 super chat.
Thank you, buddy.
Hola.
Box Eating Dad says, Casey Day is the host body producer. Mike, you dunce cap.
Yes.
I like when he keeps me in line. That gets me off.
And Box Eating Dad said, this guy like an AZT flavored lollipop.
Heyo.
I don't know
Who's he
if
talking
I
about?
get that. Is that Austin?
Is he? I'm confused. A lollipop.
AZT was like an AIDS drug, I think. I don't know why he said that.
I get it. Austin kind of looks like an AIDS-covered lollipop. It's funny. Good job.
Does he?
Well,
Okay.
no, not really, but for $5 or $1.99, we will say yes. And it's Box Eating Dad.
I agree with it.
And $5 from Dang Lizard. So Krager's busy with damage control? I mean, after the Epstein list was published. Ayo.
Hey-o.
I think
That is pretty
Craig
crazy timing.
genuinely. Craig said that is odd. I guess I didn't put that together. He said he's skiing this weekend, which I just took to mean that there's a young boy on either side of him.
He's skiing with pizza, if you know what we mean. Code words all abound.
That's right.
And Nimrod for $5 super chat said, I don't know if Craig had the clout for Epstein Island. Maybe Jared from Subway Island.
That's more. I think that's more his speed. Yeah. And by the phone calls that I've heard, more his kind of tone.
And Dang Lizard for $5.
no one
Or
responds.
no, that's £5.
No, we're just in shock. We're in shock. We have normalized child molestation on this show. It's crazy.
All right. What's that, Electrify? I'm sorry.
A Dang Lizard for £5 said, for a second I thought Lady K was talking when Mike described the love of big, thick, muscled dudes, and Mike started to drool over thick boys.
I don't know if that's an accurate representation of how it happened, but
A little drool there. You got a
listen,
little drool for that.
WATS Thursdays at 6 is a very we embrace masculinity. I think that's what it is more than anything. It's not that we're gay.
No.
I'm all for it.
All right. Thank you, Electrify.
Yes. Thank you, DJ Electrify. What
also,
would you like to cover next?
Well, just real quick, I just want to say go to blindmike.net as well. After you follow Austin on social media, make sure you check out blindmike.net. You can subscribe, become a Patreon or YouTube member. If you're watching live on YouTube, you can become a member right now. if you so choose. And we have bonus episodes up there. You can get Kirk Minahan's appearance on Why You Laughing. Listen, he may not have enjoyed it, but I think the audience will, and that's what's important. So check that's available for Patreon and YouTube members early.
What's next, Coleman?
What's next,
What's next, Coleman?
Don't you embrace this?
It's on my Twitter feed.
Side.
I know, but
how else am I going to address Coleman? I need to know what's next. What should I have said?
Next one, fatty. That's what I would have said.
All right,
maybe
I'll change it up next time.
Yes.
But yeah, you can get that episode early for Patreon and YouTube members, as well as the bonus episode we just did, Fez Whatley versus the Legion of Skanks. So that's exclusive to Patreon and YouTube members, so check that out. BlindMike.net is where you can find all those links, so we appreciate it. Now, should we move to Bert Kreischer?
Yes. The Army Major sent in a song about him. Here we go.
Who's the fat man with his shirt off? That's Bert. That's Bert. Who's the fat man who's a public alcoholic? That's Bert. That's Bert. A true jackaloo.
Yes.
It's nice to have an Ojeda presence on this show again. I've missed him.
It's 24. He's got to be back in our lives, baby. He's on fire. He's on fire right now.
That's right. Are you a Bert Kreischer fan, Austin?
I liked him more as a person than his comedy. But I'm a big Tom Segura fan. So if you like Tom, you kind of have to just deal with Bert, which,
It's interesting you say that because Tom was actually the inspiration for this segment, because on the aforementioned Who Are These Socials the other day, Carl played me a clip from Tom's social media. And Segura's in this weird place where he's got some inner conflict going on, where he will bash the poors, as he calls them, like poor people.
Yeah.
And which is kind of that's been a bit of his for a long time, but it's taken a weird turn. And
it's kind of a Tosh.0. It's kind of Daniel Tosh kind of I think is the best at this, kind of.
Yeah.
And Tosh kind of does it more, I guess. He rips on rich people, which is hilarious because Daniel Tosh has been rich for over a decade.
Well, what's weird with Segura's bit about it is, like, he seems to think people are mad at him strictly because he's shitting on poor people, which I don't think that's true. I think the reason his audience is kind of annoyed at him, or at least a portion of his audience, is because it feels very out of touch. It's not that Tom has bits about being rich or other people being poor or whatever. It's that they will go on for 20 minutes about the new watch Tom got, the new car Tom got, them flying private, whatever, and there are no jokes about it. So people are like, this is not only an unrelatable story, but you're not making it funny or interesting. You're kind of just bragging.
Just bragging,
There doesn't seem to be a point to it. Yeah. So Carl showed me a video that was kind of in line with that same theme, and that inspired me to see what Bert Kreischer was up to. Because I like Kreischer more than a lot of people. I shouldn't say a lot of people. The guy sells out baseball stadiums, so he's doing all right.
Yeah.
But people on the internet, I guess I'm referring to.
Right.
Like, I'm sure we'll get a lot of comments on this video talking shit about Bert, but I genuinely like him, and he seemed like Austin.
I love Bert. I just
I like his personality. Like, they call him the Jimmy Buffett of comedy, which I think is an accurate representation. It's not a thinking man's comedy, but it can be fun. Like, he's a relatable guy.
Yeah, I mean, I'll watch a special that he puts out, but I'm not gonna be like, wow. Again, besides the machine, what joke of Bert's are you like? Oh, this is Bert.
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, it's not going to be a Chappelle special where there's commentary that you're really thinking about after,
No, or like a Segura or Jesselnick, or like where their jokes are like, you can name 5 jokes in the special.
But I've never had a problem with Kreischer. Maybe I'm starting to worry about him as a fan of his, because he might be getting dragged down the same road that Tom is going down. So you could tell by the way I titled this video, it's something to do with his self-help stuff, because a lot of the videos I found were, hey, Bert's losing weight, getting into shape, bettering his life. Great for him. Not necessarily a great recipe for comedy. So I wanted to check out some of his Instagram posts recently and see what you guys thought about him.
Yes, I have 4 here, Mike. Which one do you want to go with? I got 5K, The Machine, Humanitarian, and What a Year.
Let's start with the machine, because it's him talking about the nickname that he has, and this is someone who's putting, I think, too much weight on his success. Like, he's focused, he thinks the story of his success is what attracts people to him. And it's not. It's his personality. It's his sense of humor. It's things like that. It's not like, wow, Bert lost a lot of weight. I want to be a fan of his comedy now. But this is an interesting angle on what he thinks his new career trajectory is.
My dad told me, I don't know if it's true or not, I love pressure. And when I realized I have one show to get this special, I have to be flawless. I have to be flawless in everything. I remember Leanne just very casually going, well, you put yourself here because you love pressure. And then my buddy Tony Hernandez said, fuck it, you're the machine. And I went, and I'll get emotional talking about it, but I shut off and was like, yeah, this is what I fucking love.
Yeah.
This is something like Stuttering John does that really annoys me. When you get emotional talking about your own greatness.
Yes. Oh, it's so gross.
When you're like, I was thinking to myself, boy, I've accomplished a lot of great things, and I'm getting a little choked up thinking about them. Like, you're supposed to do that for others, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe your relationship with someone, how someone inspired you to be great. Not thinking like, boy, I'm so driven. You know how driven I am? It's making me cry thinking about it.
Enough to bring myself to tears.
Yes, you see a lot of this in the coach world, where coaches are talking about their coaching history and they're crying about their own life. It's really ridiculous.
But again, if that's, if it's Dick Vermeil talking about how great it is to watch, Kurt Warner's journey or something like that, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with a little bit, because you're kind of thinking about how you helped this person or how this person helped you, whatever. When it's solely like, boy, I and I alone have done a lot. That's a weird moment to choke yourself up on. Even if it's true, I'm not saying it's not true. I think Bert Kreischer is an incredibly hardworking guy. Look at what he's done. But it shouldn't make you well up when you think about how great you are.
Every time you bring it up in an interview, it shouldn't make you cry.
This is the new trend in podcasting I'm noticing, Austin. And as you're a young comedian, so I'm going to lecture you here. Don't do this.
Let's hear it. Yeah, no. I cry in private, man, like you're supposed to do.
Something that happened a lot in podcasting, and I was guilty of this, was making the same points about cancel culture over and over again. That became a thing where you could turn on, I could name 50 podcasts that you could turn on, particularly Rogan in that world, where they're making the same points about cancel culture and how you can't say anything anymore and all that. And I got hooked into that a little bit. What I'm noticing now, a trend in comedy with guys like Kreischer and Segura, talking about how far they've come, and how hard they work. And that is something that's not particularly interesting to the audience. Like, I'm not a working class man, so I can't relate to this, but I'm just imagining someone that throws Two Bears, One Cave on as they're fucking, roofing in the summer or putting up drywall or something. And they're listening to Tom and Bert pontificate about how hard they work. And, oh, man, the struggle when I was coming up playing the funny bones and all that horse shit. It's like, yeah, you guys have worked very hard, but not as hard as the majority of the people listening. Like, that's not a unique thing to have to work hard to achieve your goals. That's not solely unique to Bert Kreischer, and that's, I think, what frustrates a lot of people.
Yeah, like any comic at especially at my stage, hearing them talk about hard work, like, I mean, I'm sure they have worked harder than anything that I can ever imagine, but like, dude, just like you said, it's roofing in the summer is hard work.
Right.
This is fun. This is what we get
But
to do.
even like Austin, as a young comic, if someday everyone knows the name Austin Ingels, undoubtedly you'll have to work hard for that. But that's not unusual or unique.
No,
that doesn't. You know what I mean? Like, that's just what you have to do to get there.
Yeah. I can't remember who the quote was, but they said you gotta work hard to get it and work even harder to maintain it. I think Dr. Dre maybe, but I mean,
It does seem like him. Yeah.
It's a perfect analogy.
All right, let's finish. Let's hear Bert talk about how hard he's worked.
Yes, and it appears that everyone wants to be a dues payer. Yes.
Yes, you got to pay your dues. That is true.
Yes, It's a popular term right now.
Yeah.
This situation, this is where I thrive. I thrive when the net's been removed That's when I focus in. And that weird comfort of you're the machine. It's the fucking greatest nickname I accidentally gave myself drunk in Russia.
Yeah.
It's like when my back's against the wall, that's when I really thrive. It just seems like self-help, like Gary V, Tony Robbins bullshit, and that's the death of comedy, and that's what I'm
that's
like.
It's the Jocko thing again,
Yeah,
like they all are just too deep into that shit.
Yeah, that's where Rogan's done a lot of great things for comics. That's where he's done people a disservice, is getting them to smell their own shit far too much. And like I'm sure there'll be comments on this. Like anytime we talk about Matt Rife or one of these guys, like there'll be comments like, "Oh, you're just jealous" or whatever. And I'm sure there'll be some of that talking about Bert and Tom. No, I'm a fan of these guys. Like it's cool to watch them.
I love Tom and Bert. Love them.
It's cool to watch them succeed and grow. Like there's a lot of guys now, Gillis, Tim Dillon, Sam Morrill, Mark Norman, Joe List, that are very successful right now. That like I listened to their podcast when I was probably one of a couple thousand people listening, and
awesome.
Now they're some of the biggest stars in comedy. So like that's cool to watch. Same with Bert and Tom. It wasn't that long ago that they were relatively nobodies, and now they're massive. But you don't have to beat us. That doesn't need to be your only content, is reminding us that you were once nothing and now you're something. Like, there can be more, I guess is my point.
Yeah. Yeah, 10 years ago. Oh, no, it was probably late 2012 in Peoria, Illinois. Tom Segura was at the Jukebox Comedy Club where I started comedy. So, like, yeah, it's not that far off, that time window. It's like, hey, man, don't forget you were at this shitty comedy club.
Right.
So,
well, what's interesting though, Austin, in that time, you probably have laughed a lot, but I don't want to get you choked up. He's worked really hard since then. So that's something you should take into consideration.
He's paid his dues.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, would you like...
Can we hear about this 5K now, Hackride?
Yes. Oh,
this is again something that was rooted in funny. I did see one clip. So Bert and Tom are putting on a 5K. I think it's happening soon, right?
Yeah, they got a lot of comics.
Yeah, so I saw it's very funny because they were like, "Hey, it'd be hilarious if we got like Tim Dillon and Stavros Halkias and guys that are completely out of shape, to get in shape and run a 5K. Like that would be cool. That's a funny idea. That's where comedy comes in.
Mm-hmm.
But these guys, again, when you're talking about smelling their own shit, they've taken it a little too seriously. I think. Like I would say, keep it funny, but this is the angle that Bert has taken.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Bert Kreischer, the machine, and I have stripped down the process. I'm monitoring what I eat, what I drink, and I'm working out no matter where I am with whatever the Lord gives me, because I am getting ready for the 2024 Tops Off World Tour. Better, faster, stronger, and way funnier. I'll see you on the road, starting in Arizona, ending in Austin. Rogan?
I thought, all right, here we go.
All right, at least it ends hilariously. But but my point, like the music involved and the like, hey guys, you know what you should be excited about for my world tour is that now I'm in shape. Isn't that funny?
Yeah, like staring
the
at
fat fuck that ripped his shirt off. Now he's got a six pack.
Jack's
Very
always,
relatable.
Bert's always been like Fat Jack. It's weird. He's always had like it doesn't look terrible, his body. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's got a good gut, and I think that's probably the drinking.
That's what it is.
He doesn't seem like a crazy overeater. I think if you get fat solely from drinking, you've got a decent shape to you.
Yep.
That's the way to go. That's the way to get fat, guys.
Triggers.
That's unkind. He's on Ozempic.
All right, we have two left here. We have the humanitarian and what a year.
You know what? Let's do what a year, because humanitarian might be a good one to end on, where it's just like douchey.
Oh.
But yeah, let's hear this is again like what's funny about that. Like even in the video, I get he shows his ass or whatever. That's the big reveal. But the substance of the video is very like, look at what here I sit on the mountaintop. Won't you join me? And
I don't know why he thinks him being naked is so like provocative and edgy at this like.
At this point, diminishing returns, I think.
Get on Instagram, I can see any half-naked chick in the world.
Right.
I mean...
by the way, Hackride, are we going to get taken down for showing his ass?
I don't think so. I
That
think we're okay.
looks like a shoulder. You could argue that's a shoulder.
After the episode, I'll edit it out.
All right, that's all that matters. As long as we don't get taken, I don't mind if we get demonetized. But
Yeah, no, we're all good. So here, be careful. This one's scary.
Can I get a drum roll, please? Perfect. 2023 was possibly the best year of my entire life. I started the Tops Off World Tour in arenas. Then we went to Europe, where I brought the Barstool guys to Amsterdam, where we celebrated Winston Churchill Day. I'll be doing that this year in Austin on the 24th. I'll see you there. I came home. My special Razzle Dazzle dropped on Netflix. I then went to Australia, New Zealand, came home again, and my major motion picture, The Machine, dropped in movie theaters, then hit Netflix, where it streamed #1 for almost a month. We did Fully Loaded, 18 cities, 32 comics. I was 275 pounds, but I lost 45 fucking pounds, motherfuckers. Then we hit Red Rocks, Fully Loaded to see where we broke records for gambling and for drinking Guarana vodka on the first night. What? And then Tops Off World Tour closed out. In arenas, we pick up again January 18th in Tucson. Then Tom and I are at the Super Bowl, where we have a big surprise to share with you. Then I tour this material until July, where I shoot my special for Netflix, and then I take a break. I've been touring straight for 19 years. I've earned it. Catch me if you can, motherfuckers.
God damn it. You know, like, we did an episode of Why You Laughing about Eddie Murphy's Raw that debuted in theaters. But what is much funnier is when Eddie Murphy talked about the box office success of that film. That's what got a lot of people howling, is when you talk about the numbers and how successful
when you brag
things
about
were. Yeah. He ends it with something I just hate that I'm hearing a lot in podcasting, is how, like, I deserve a break. Like, I've been working so hard, I deserve a break. Good for you. And, like, if you're promoting things and being like, Jesus, I got a lot coming up, that's totally fine. But when you're just making a video to promote a break you're taking, like, that's where these guys have lost touch with their audience. It's not a thing that...
They're like
Go
the
ahead,
girls on social media that they're like, hey, I'm taking a break from Facebook for a while, and then like 2 weeks later they're back on, and it's like,
Right.
Nobody missed you, nobody acknowledged your break. Just
That's a good point. There's an element of like, yeah, are you guys going to be sad that I'm gone?
Are you guys
for
going
a
to be
while?
sad that I'm gone? Are you going to miss me? Are you going to acknowledge me? Like,
Guys,
I think that's what
try
they
to
want.
make it through this, but you may
Yeah.
not see me for a while.
It's like a thoughts and prayers thing.
Again, like Louis C.K. took a year off of stand-up, and he talked about it on Rogan, but he didn't make an Instagram video where he's like, guys, I've been through the ringer. I mean,
Guys, do you know
they
that I've
tried
been
to
on a
cancel
break?
me.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, and what's our last one, Hackride?
Oh, we have humanitarian. This one
Yes.
is ridiculous.
This, like, what's bothering me is, like, I like Bert Kreischer, and yet I think me and Carl have played similar videos about, like, John Cirasani. And that's what worries me, is he's going down a John Cirasani road, which is a road that no one should be on.
What you doing, brother?
No, I wanted to thank you for donating to Habitat for Humanity for the fourth house based on the Bucks, so I appreciate that.
Brother, you do not have to say that. That is, it I got...
You don't have to say it. You put a camera in his face, Bert.
You don't have to say it, but let's record it.
It's a 4-camera shoot on both ends. Don't say it.
Oh, you didn't have to say that. I thought we were going to talk about the fucking Rams in the playoffs. I didn't know. I had no idea you were going to talk about what a great guy I am, you silly goose.
Now the swinging boom shot. And then they're making a house. I guess that's what's going on here.
Oh, hey, but it's so embarrassing that you brought that up. I hope my team doesn't post it on Instagram. That's how embarrassed I am by it.
I'm trying to see what Bert did here. He's not even doing anything at the house. He just called the guy. And, no, he just, what'd he do?
He doesn't have does he have a hard hat on or anything?
No, these are the players. The players are building the house. Yeah, Bert's standing out front of it with his shirt off. That's what Bert did.
He's the foreman.
Oh, it's Segura.
Tommy.
They just show up, cut the ribbon, and get out of town.
Just us. It's about the community. It's about changing somebody's lives and making the world a better place ultimately.
They're going to cut you in half a year.
You know what's funny is it would be so easy to make this a funny video because right away you pointed out like Bert's not doing anything. There's the angle. There's the angle is you have this over the top. Thank you so much for doing everything for this house, and then showing Bert do nothing. Like that's the comedic angle where you can fucking give this guy a house and have people praise you for being a great guy, but also get comedy out of it. Instead, they just settled for like, look at what great guys we are. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, they
Give
didn't
'em
do any comedy whatsoever in that.
No, that's what's
No,
frustrating.
You give him a bullhorn, and you got a whole bit right there. He's bossing around the players. That's the bit.
Right, make it clear that he's doing literally nothing other than giving them money. You know, like that's what makes it funny. But instead, it's Bert being like, "Oh, who? Little old me? Oh, please, you didn't have to thank me. I didn't invite you here specifically to make this video."
I feel like they've given Bert a blowhorn before, and they're like, "Yeah, we can't do that again, dude."
Was that the end of it, Hackride, or was there any more?
No, that's the end of it. We're getting into some music stuff, so I'm cutting them off a little short, just so you know.
Right. Yeah. So that's like, I still enjoy Bert, and like I said, the beginning of that bit with the 5K where they're getting people like Stavros to try and do it, like that's funny. That's where they're focused on comedy. But then it kind of evolves into this thing of like, I've bettered myself, and so can you. It's so funny that we listened to Schaub and Callen bring up Jocko Willick, because to your point, Austin, it was more the same in these videos where these guys just are so inspired by their own story. You know, like that's what's weird is like, I'm trying to think of an example of someone I've heard with an inspirational tale that actually comes out and says like, and you know, by the way, like who's my biggest hero? It's me, actually. I'm inspired by what I did, and that gets me up in the morning.
There's only one man I would accept that from, and that's Sully Sullenberger. If he was like, "Yep, I'm the man," I'd be like, "Yep, yeah, you landed a plane in a river. You're the man."
Sure, I guess.
Sully reference. I know that was coming.
Yes.
Well, it's topical, Austin. You know, that's how that we keep it fresh here.
Yes. Speaking of fresh, we got some fresh super chats. DJ Electro, would you like to come up and read them? If she's still awake. If not, then I will get to it. DJ Electro, you awake? All right, let me do this one here. We have a new member. B.E. a B. B Adult Star is a new member.
Oh,
I'm here.
All right.
You're too late, Electrify.
Oh, dang.
Got a few left. Go ahead and read them for us, Electrify, with that beautiful voice of yours. You did a great job in the intro, by the way.
Oh, thank you. I didn't know you were going to post all my practice, but thanks for doing that.
That was fun.
It was like my warm-up. Come on. You're not supposed to publicly
I like to think she just
post
says that around the house. She's just repeating my name over and over again.
I do every day.
Thank you.
So Dennis in East Boston for $4.99. Mike, when you're on KMS again, you guys should try to have Glass-Steagall. Did I say that right?
Yes, Glass-Steagall. Ryan Glass-Steagall, I think.
Glass-Steagall on to discuss his New York Post article of the Crafts and their stupid firing of Bill.
Oh, maybe I'll bring that up. There seems to be more pressing news because breaking right before the show started, I saw Andrew Augustus out. According to Mr. Minahan, so we'll see. I assume that'll be big news tomorrow.
All right.
That's a hack rider.
I know you're a Gus fan, Hackride.
Oh, he's a hack rider.
Soldier on.
Yes, we have a whole monetized channel over here, Augustus.
Yeah.
Back that U-Haul on up, baby. We like weird. You found a home. You found a home, weirdo.
Definitely weird.
Yes. Oh, that's too bad. Did they keep the other guy, though?
Coleman's still there, yes, as far as I know.
So they kept the boring and got rid of the Baba Booey? What are they doing?
Pipe down, will you?
I'm sorry. I thought I was on mute. All right. Is there any more, DJ Electra?
Yes, there are. Dang Lizard for £5 says, "Am I the only one that thinks Bert Kreischer always sounds like he's talking with a D in his T?
Well,
A D in his throat."
a lot of people suggest that, but he's a happily married man.
And another one from Dang Lizard, another £5.
Oh man.
"I'm purely inspired by Blind Mike, pretending to be blind for years with zero payoff that takes conviction."
Yes, I'm the Fez Watley of this generation.
You're the DG. You have no off ramp. You're just on the ride. You don't know how to get off.
That's the most hurtful thing you've ever said.
I'm sorry.
DG.
Austin Ingels
is that guy
like,
still around? He's the worst.
Yes, I just talked to him for like 3 hours the other night.
Oh God, you poor bastard.
Yeah,
and remember, guys, you too can become a YouTube member if you're watching live. Feel free to join, or get gifted memberships. I don't really know how that works.
Join and subscribe.
You can do it. Thank you, Austin.
Yes,
and follow Austin for God's sake.
Yes, follow Austin. And also turn on your allow gifted memberships. It's in your settings, and then some nice person will come along and buy some memberships and you'll get one. That's how it happens.
By the way, I didn't warn you of this, Austin, because I didn't get to talk to you before the show. We do long episodes, so you're welcome to stay. If you have to go at any point, just let me know. But
oh, you're good. I got a little time left. I'm actually heading to Austin, Texas today, bearing if I make it to the airport. Iowa got a shit ton of snow, so
you're fleeing.
I'm fleeing, and then I'm going to Austin where it's going to be like 40 degrees, so I can't even get away from this.
Imagine the fun they'll have with you in Austin. Imagine
Austin and Austin, man.
Finally adding the Ingels to Austin.
This is the third time I'll be there. You're not going to believe it. The second time I went, every mic I went to, someone's like, "Oh, Austin and Austin." Like, am I the only guy named Austin in this fucking town? I don't think so.
Yeah, that's what a hack I am.
Yeah,
I felt the need to say that to you.
No, I love it. I love it.
You should tell them your name is El Paso. See what they say.
All right, enough of this.
Heyo.
Hackride.
Before I have some stand up, I'm dying to play that we haven't touched on in a couple weeks. But first, I want to talk about Tony Hinchcliffe a little bit, because the last time you were on Hackride, we played Daniel Tosh talking about cancel culture.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you have a jingle you want to play?
Oh, yes. Here we go.
Have you seen Tony Hinchcliffe lately? That guy's got a face that's oh so long. He could use it as a surfboard, maybe. Dude, his face is just way too strong. Tony's got a long face, it's a mile wide. When he smiles, it stretches on for miles. I don't mean to laugh, but it's hard to hide when Tony's face is longer than the Nile.
Heyo.
Well, all right.
That one was a banger.
Thank you.
That's what we produce here, Austin, is solely bangers. So last time you were on Hackride, we talked about Daniel Tosh talking about cancel culture, and I thought we disagreed with him. But do you remember me saying, like, there's a point to what he's saying? I get what he's trying to say with cancel culture not affecting comedians.
Yes.
I think Tony articulated it better. I found this is from Too Lazy to Try, his YouTube channel. He covered this, and I found this clip to be interesting. I think this is a better way of saying what Daniel Tosh was trying to say, because I would say this is more accurate, probably.
When I went up 4 or 5 days after that incident for the first time ever, the boom was crazier than ever. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Talking about Peng Dang.
I just don't think you can get canceled for a joke. You know, I've noticed that anyone who gets canceled for a joke, in trouble for a joke, if they're funny, it accelerates their career 100-fold. This happened to Shane Gillis.
Yeah, it was with Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, and you look at that mistake.
But now he's bigger than Saturday Night Live would have ever made him.
Exactly. In fact, he might be bigger than Saturday Night Live, period. He might have more people watching him and paying him and seeing him live.
I don't think might, by the way. I think that's unquestionable.
Yeah.
I think if you added up the careers of everyone on Saturday Night, like, you know, Bowen Yang and Mikey Day. I don't know who the biggest person on Saturday Night Live even is right now. But like,
Keenan still, honestly, probably,
I guess,
right?
yeah.
And it's
if
like
you added up all their
season, I think.
If you added up all their ticket sales, I think Shane dwarfs them. Like here in Boston, Gillis is playing the Wang Theater, which I think is like a 3,000 seat venue. I think if you had Saturday Night Live, I don't know if they could fill that room if they did some sort of live show there.
No, yeah, Gillis is it's hard to argue that he's not at least top 3 biggest acts right now.
And I believe he's the funniest, but yeah, he's definitely up there as far as ticket sales.
Yep.
The entire show's cast. I don't think there's anybody there. I think if you combine the entire cast and looked at their ticket sales, I don't think they are anywhere near what he's doing. I mean, he's an absolute monster, and more importantly,
I'm sure I stole that from Tony. I must have heard him say it, and it implanted in my brain. I'm like, hey, guys, here's a thought I had.
And then,
so if they tried, same thing happened with Ari Shaffir, another great comedian. These people are thriving, including myself. If it's not right, if it's for a joke, you're only going to help the person. And during the few days, like I said, yeah, I was stressed then because I didn't see it so clearly.
So I think, and thank you for Too Lazy to Try for pointing that out. I think that's a much better way of saying what Daniel Tosh was trying to say. Because my argument against Tosh's comments, Tosh was basically saying cancel culture is a good thing because that's how we evolve. And my point to that was, we have no idea. And I was just listening to an interview where for the All in the Family episode I did, I was listening to a bunch of Norman Lear interviews. And he basically said, I'll never know the episodes of All in the Family or any of his other TV shows. I'll never know the episodes that I was afraid to write or, never came to my mind because of censorship, essentially. Like, knowing these things would never get on TV, I'll never know what thoughts I've just discarded because they wouldn't get on the air, basically. So I think that goes for a lot of the backlash that comedians get. It means guys like Austin maybe would be afraid to try certain jokes or whatever. Like, I just think that's natural. If you're at a lower level in comedy, you're not going to take as many risks when you see more successful guys get shit for it. So I think that's the effect that it has. But I think Tony's point is much better than Tosh's, in the sense that if you are as funny as someone like Shane or Tony Hinchcliffe, then that actually benefits you because it gets you your name out eyes. Yeah, exactly. Chad Daniels had a joke in his most recent special where he's like, as a comedian, getting canceled doesn't end your career, it just changes your audience. Like, now you might have some people that wouldn't have checked you out before, but it's kind of what you want. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't like he was saying, I don't know if I heard the Tosh, his comment on it. I feel like I did, but the whole cancel culture, and you hear it a lot, open micers, which is the funniest thing. They're like, oh, I'm going to get canceled saying this. Well, first of all, you have to get something started to get it canceled.
Right. No one knows who you are.
Yeah, no one knows who you are. But like you said, it brings someone like me, it makes me make someone not want to take a risk. I see a lot of that in comedy. Right. It's like,
and even though, like, I'm sure you do take risks or whatever, but I imagine
I do dark humor, so yeah.
Sure, but I imagine there's things that you subconsciously don't even know that you've filtered within yourself because the line has moved over the years. Like, you kind of know, oh, well, I shouldn't joke about this. This will get a ton of shit if this ever gets out, whatever. So it causes you to try less things. But I think Tony's point is a good one, and the reason I like that clip is I do think we're on the other side of, and it's why I'm glad I stopped focusing on a lot of the cancel culture stuff, because I think we're kind of finally on the other side of that, where
I agree.
People don't give as much of a fuck. Like, we have this what's this Matt Rife article, Hackride?
Oh yes, let me grab that real quick.
Where he's still getting shit, but like, it's just people on TikTok bitching about it. It doesn't affect his career at all. And I think for a while it did. Like, I don't think that's totally true, where like it was only a benefit if you got canceled. That's really not true. People lost jobs. So no matter what, like, if your career is better afterwards, like, I think Shane Gillis would say, like, losing SNL was not an opportunity. He might be bigger now because of it, but like, what if he wound up being the greatest Saturday Night Live cast member of all time? He still lost an opportunity that he should have had because people got up in arms about something he said.
Oh, yes. Okay, can I read this? This is great.
Please, yeah.
Waiting all morning for this. All right. Matt Rife, controversial comedian, pushes for return of offensive word retard at per show. American comedian Matt Rife.
Kirk Minahan has already done this. I think he brought the word back, and it's back, baby.
Oh, the word is so back, dude.
You can just float it around as freely as you want now, I think.
It's like oxygen in the Dabbleverse. All right.
That's right.
American comedian Matt Rife has kicked off his world tour, all guns blazing, with a joke vouching for the return of the word retard after facing backlash over a domestic violence scandal on his Netflix special. During the opening night of his problematic world tour, he's only 28. My God.
I'm sorry. Is his tour called Problematic?
It is called Problematic. Matt. Yes, Matt. Because his name is Matt Rife. Yes, it's a pun.
I like it and I hate it at the same time.
Yes.
But I think this speaks to what Tony is talking about, where now someone like Matt Rife, who I don't believe is edgy. Like,
No.
I think he's like trying to be an edgelord, and he's not that.
That joke, that domestic abuse joke, you could tell he was trying to be edgy. And even after the joke, he did that little stupid toe line thing where he's like, "Oh, toeing the line."
Right.
Like, dude,
But
that's not an edgy joke at all.
Even that, it's like a street joke.
It's like horrible 1930s street joke. Like,
Exactly. Like, what do you tell a woman that has 2 black eyes? Nothing. You already told her twice. It was that level of joke.
Yeah.
That's just been around forever.
Jesselnick had that joke. Jesselnick had that joke on his first special. Like, my sister's cooking gotten better. I think my husband's been beating her, or I don't have proof that that her husband's been beating her, but her cooking's gotten a lot better. Like that joke right there.
Right. Yeah. So,
I mean,
like, it's not
and that was
this
10
crazy
years
edgy
ago.
thing.
That was 2010 or something. You know, that was over fucking 14 years ago.
But I think, like, to kind of back up Tony Hinchcliffe's point, now comedian, like, it's a good this is branding for Matt Rife to be like, hey, am I going to get canceled, guys? Are people going to come after me? And they're giving him what he wants by writing these articles about it. You see with Chappelle, where, like, they tried this time. Like, I saw some articles attempting to be like, Dave Chappelle's special, huh, guys? A little he mentions trans people again. And this time, like, no one took the bait. Everyone was just like, fuck off. Let him do what he wants.
Yeah. Let him make a joke. Although, did you like Chappelle's new special?
I liked that. Like, I think it's nowhere near, like, Killing Them Softly.
No.
But I liked that he wasn't taking himself as seriously as he has in the last few.
I just I loved it up until that last joke. You could just tell that the punchline was going to be about a trans guy from a mile away.
Right. Yeah. That's where it's like, all right, Dave, we got it. You know, we got the trans thing.
Yeah.
But I will say another thing about his special is, like, I was amazed when he's like, all right, I have one more story. I was like, holy shit, this flew by.
Yeah.
It was very quick.
It was very fast for an hour special. And like, just if he actually comes out with another Chappelle show, that's going to be the biggest thing.
That would be, but I would worry with that. It's like, you had what some people consider the greatest sketch show of all time. Why would you ruin that legacy? Like, there's a chance it's not as good. You know?
Yeah, we've all seen Arrested Development's 4th season.
Right.
Yes,
exactly. Yeah.
Right. I just feel like he could get any writer, anybody he wanted. You know.
But you know what? Chappelle's problem
could go
to me.
Either way.
Chappelle's problem to me is, like, he started calling himself the GOAT, and he wears a C on his chest and all that. Like, I don't know that he has the same instincts that he had when he was writing that show originally.
Right.
You know, that's what would worry me about him. Yeah. Yep.
the better of the Brennan brothers. Let's just put it that way.
Yes.
All right, let me finish reading this, Mike, because we're getting into some gaming language here.
Yeah.
All right, so during the opening night of his Problematic World Tour, the 28-year-old dived back into his repertoire of controversial comedy in front of a sold-out crowd. This time, the Los Angeles-based comic launched his set with two cautious jokes about the terms retard and faggot. The jokes were both a hit, with a somewhat intoxicated, they're Australians, of course they're intoxicated, mostly millennial crowd, with the comedian was testing his brand new show on. Quote, I think that we start with something that's been a little heavy on my heart recently. I really want the word retarded back, he said. It's a derogatory term associated with someone with special needs, mentally handicapped or mentally retarded, right? Now, whenever you refer to somebody with special needs, you're mentally handicapped. That's what you say. Nobody even says mentally retarded anymore. So theoretically,
it's like Seinfeld doing a bit. Like, they're not even retarded.
It's on the table. Retard's on the table.
But here's
what
where
Matt's
like
gonna do now.
Here's where I like Matt Rife and I hate him at the same time. Like, I like what he's trying to do, but I just don't think he's that guy. Where it's
I see where he's going.
Yeah, he's dipping his toe into the edgelord world. But it seems like even this is kind of late, where he's like, hey, I'd like to bring... It's like, I've heard people say, I want to bring the word... Kirk has said it before. Like, that people have talked about that before, and Matt's kind of late stumbling into this, because it's not genuinely who he is. I don't think he's at the forefront of this stuff. Whereas someone like Chappelle is, because that's genuinely what's on his mind. Matt's, like, shoehorning it into his act.
Oh God, it's so bad.
It's very forceful, and once again, it's just like that domestic abuse joke. If the joke would have been good, we wouldn't have been hearing about this.
Yeah, and I'll just also be fair to Matt and say we are reading this. Like, I don't think that's fair to comedy to read a transcript of it. But
I'm reading it very well, though.
A joke of mine, you'd be like, "This guy's insane."
Right.
Let me just finish with, he says, he reflected on the Black Eyed Peas 2003 hit song, Let's Get Retarded, and he said, it's one of those words you really shouldn't use unless you are directly associated with it, which I get and respect. Now we'll never have another song like that. So I don't understand.
See, this is where I'm saying he's dipping his
song.
He's dipping his toe in where it's like he wants to say the word retarded on stage.
Yeah.
But then he also kind of wants the people that are like, yeah, but Matt gets it. You know, like he understands that you're not allowed to say those things. And when it's genuine, that works. Because I remember before he got canceled, people would, like liberals, like super progressive people, would write articles and say this on podcasts. They would say, the one guy who's allowed to make a rape joke is Louis C.K. because he handles it well. And the reason he had that reputation is because it was genuine to Louis.
Mm-hmm.
Matt is shoehorning himself into that role. Like, he wants to be that guy now. I think he wants to be... I wouldn't be surprised in a couple of years if you see Matt have, like, an end to his special where it is some Chappelle-like or Carlin-like life lesson, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I think he wants to be that guy. And even in the end, did you watch his most recent Netflix special, Austin?
The Natural Selection?
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried to get through it. I couldn't. I made it about halfway through.
Well, since you didn't make it to the end, I'll let you in on.
But I did see the clips of where he did the mic drop.
Yeah,
the ironic mic drop.
That's tough. Where it's like, and the example I always use is it reminded me so much of Carlos Mencia, the end of his Comedy Central special, where he goes, "But sometimes, man," and then he just walks off the stage, and you're supposed to think like, "Wow, that's deep." Like, you know, he made us laugh, but now he's making us think.
Sopranos ending.
yeah, that's exactly what
cut to black.
Yeah.
All right, would you like to hear how he finished his set? Then we'll get out of this.
Okay.
He said,
that's fine.
We could get this word back by 2025, I believe. It's going to take all of us, Perth. And then he goes into a controversial closing where he says, okay, let's work together. Let's save these words we love. I'd suck a dick to get faggot back. No disrespect. No disrespect. Sucking someone's dick is actually the most retarded thing you could do to someone. Hey-o!
All right. You know what? This is where Matt Rife's winning me back. I'm in.
Yes, and then the final line is...
Blind Mike.
The final line here is great. Addressing rumors throughout his show, Matt Rife also strongly denied he uses lip filter. Yeah, lip filler. Apparently that was... Yes, it was.
I don't know. Does he not sound like a kid that just learned the F word? Like, learned the word fuck and just wants to say fuck all the time?
It feels like a lot of that. Where, it's like Louis and... Bill Burr had like brilliant bits on that word years ago, and Matt's is just kind of he had the guts to say it on stage, so good for him, I guess. But like, I won't say it on the podcast right now, so so he does have that. But
I said it.
I'll let Hackride say it.
Yeah, I said it. I was reading.
Go to any open mic, you're going to hear dudes trying to do this, and it's like, oh, you're trying to be edgy, but you don't know how to. Like you said, he's trying to get there, but he doesn't know how. Like, he doesn't know how to write an edgy joke.
There's nothing to what Matt is saying where you're like, oh, holy shit, I never thought of it that way.
That's the problem. This man has gotten way too much pussy to be funny in that way. Let's be honest. All right?
As always here at the Blind Mike Project, we're rooting for Matt Rife. We're trying to guide him in a way because God knows he needs my help, you know?
Yes. All right. Do we have some super chats here? Yes, we have one.
Oh, all right, let's catch up.
Yes, we do. This one is from Penis Wrinkle 12. Penis Wrinkle 12.
You always do that.
P5.
Do you think there should be no line to cross in comedy, or it should just be moved back? What happens if there is no line?
I can't tell if he's mocking me, but I'll answer the question genuinely. I do think there's something to be said for, like, I've heard Patton Oswalt say this, and there's a lot of stuff I don't agree with Patton Oswalt on. But his point is basically like, the line is like good for comedy in the sense that you have to figure out a way to get over that line that makes people laugh.
Yes.
Like, and that I do think is good. Like, you do need both sides. You need the people saying real crazy shit, and you need the people that are pushing back against that. Like, I do think that's good in a way. The problem is just for a long time, and this is what like Tony and Daniel Tosh kind of ignored, is people were losing income because of that. And luckily, I think we're kind of at a point where that's certainly not happening as much. I'm sure you can show me a bunch of cases where it does happen, but it's just not happening as much, which is finally we're winning that battle, I think.
I would argue that the line is, this is going to be a very cliche answer, but the line is just what the audience that night is feeling. You know what I mean? I could do back-to-back shows and they could love this crowd could love an abortion joke, but then the next joke they hate that I make fun of someone in a wheelchair. But then the next crowd will hate the abortion joke but love the wheelchair joke. So I don't know if there's actually a line. It's just what that audience is feeling.
I would say I would call it limitation. Limitation improves art every time. And what Mike has described,
trust too.
Yes, what Mike described reminds me of Stern on regular radio, right? When they had to describe all the stuff that they were doing in real like PG terms, that forced them to be super funny in how they did it. Some of those shows before Sirius are some of the best ever. When they got all the freedom in the world, they got a Sybian and they had chicks sitting on it. I mean, it got crazy.
And it's like because I'm a big Seinfeld and Curb fan, obviously, and I think Curb makes me laugh harder.
Yes.
Like I probably enjoy Curb more, but like the idea, like Seinfeld did a masturbation episode without ever saying masturbation or jerking off or anything like that. Like that to me is more impressive that they were able to do that kind of stuff on NBC than doing it on HBO. Obviously.
Limitation, baby.
It's all about like the trust too. Like if the reason Matt Rife's audience spazzed out so much is because they trusted him to, they wanted him to do crowd work. They wanted him to do I'm going to show my abs and belt.
They thought he was a sweet, handsome boy.
Yeah.
They didn't realize he was an adult.
They didn't expect him to do they didn't expect him to be edgy or whatever. So he crossed the line in that way. He went against their trust. So I think it's more of a not having a line with the audience, but having their trust is where.
Can I point something out here, guys? We got Craig out of here. Look at the intellectual conversation we're having. You know, you remove Craig from the situation, and we can have an honest to goodness conversation without throwing in some horrible racial slur or something.
We solved comedy.
We did. I think we brought up a lot of points that no one's ever brought up before, and I think that's good.
Now we should get to anti-comedy.
It's what what's funny about that segment is like. Didn't 20 minutes ago I say like, what's real douchey that people do on podcasts is talk about cancel culture? Anyways, here's an article on Matt Rife.
30 minutes later. But I gotta say, faggot, it was fun.
You sure did.
That you did, and I love to hear it.
All right, let's get to some unfunny comedian, Mike. What do you think?
Would that be a Mr. GD Fenderson?
Oh my God, you're gonna torture us with this. All right, here's an intro.
GD Fenderson is his name. Making Tom Myers look like Norm is his game. Comic so bad. Our ears are in pain. Setups are laborious. The punchline's insane.
Thank you, Richard. Austin, I can't imagine you're familiar with GD Fenderson.
Nope, never heard of him.
No, I'm so sorry.
Are you familiar with Tom Myers?
That name sounds more familiar.
Okay, Tom Myers is an enemy of this program, but a legendary, like, legitimately, I'm sure at open mics or whatever, you've seen plenty of shit comedy. Tom Myers is the worst. Tom Myers is
for 2 lifetimes.
The worst of the worst. You've never seen anyone as bad as Tom Myers. Or so we thought, until we found his friend, GD Fenderson. So
they like to roll in groups.
Last time we talked about GD, we started playing, and we got through the first 15 minutes or so of his, not 1, but 2-hour comedy special. Have you ever heard of that before, Austin? Someone releasing 2 hours worth of comedy?
I heard of Chad Daniels doing it, but he's also a good comic. So
One of the greats, yes.
Yeah.
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 So GD Fenderson said, like, hey, I'm going to be innovative. He put out a 2-hour comedy special, and he also has Hackride. Keep an eye on this. Do you remember us talking about this last time?
Yeah, do I? Yes.
Because he has little. You're gonna have to keep an eye. He has little subtitles that add to the jokes.
Yes.
So that's what's really fun about this special. So we heard GD talking a lot about his cats at when we left you last. So I figured pick up right where we left off, and this is topical. He's now getting into the NFL, and it's a big playoff weekend here that we are broadcasting on. So I figured it'd be nice to hear GD's take on the NFL. Now, keep in mind, this special is from, I believe, the year 2021, if I'm not mistaken. Possibly 2020. So GD's talking NFL. Let's see how far we can make it through this time.
God, my God. Austin, you're gonna love your work after this. This is amazing.
I can't wait.
Now, this being the 10th week of football, I lost track. Actually, I figured it out when I wrote this.
It's good to put in your special, by the way, your comedy special that's supposed to hold up for years to come.
Yeah, way to date yourself right off the bat.
So this is week 11 of the NFL season?
Yeah.
That Kelsey injury, oh, man.
I think it's the 11th week. I think this is week 11 coming up.
You guys all remember
Now-
current Patriot Tom Brady?
Yeah.
I'm doing pretty good in my fantasy league. I'm kicking ass.
Oh.
It's not the regular fantasy football league. No, I belong to a fantasy wives football league. We scout the women behind the men because I have no desire to. I don't give a shit about men in tights. So we follow the women, the wives.
What a
what they're
man's
doing.
man.
Yeah.
Now last year I won it all. I won it all, and I won it on the backs of Giselle Bundchen Brady, and Janae Rice.
GD, hold on a second. GD, maybe learn her name if you're going to weave her into the act.
Buddy. Yeah.
This is
a special.
GD has the roughest delivery where literally he's like, he'll just stop himself and go, and I've never heard an in a comedy special in all my days. That's pretty impressive. This is where GD is innovative, I think.
They carried me to the championships last year. But this year we have a new rule. We can have mistresses and babies' mamas added just right. So we have wives, mistresses, and babies' mamas.
He has not set this up. What does he mean we have? Like, how has Giselle gotten him to the championship?
This whole bit is confusing. I don't understand where he's even at with it at this point. Like, what the fuck is he talking about?
Yeah. So he scouts the wives and girlfriends of NFL players. To what end? Like, what's the point system? What is this fantasy league you're talking about?
And how many famous wives are there besides Giselle and fucking?
Now you'd have like
Patrick
Taylor
Mahomes
Swift,
shit.
I guess.
Yeah, and yeah.
And what
yeah,
does
there's
that have
not a
to do
ton.
with? And what does that have to do with cats? I'm still waiting for the cat part.
The cats will definitely
Sure,
make a
then-
comeback.
I
at some
can't wait for that hook.
Now all available, as long as the husband or the significant other is actually an active football player. Otherwise, they have to ride the bench or grab wood, which is probably how they got to be a wife or a mistress in the first place.
Oof.
Wow.
Oh, and Mike, the thing is, Mike, you're missing half the joke because what he wrote up there is splinters cause pregnancies. Don't you get it?
No.
Oh, so he's like subtitling.
He's
like
tagging
adding-
his own jokes.
Tagging his jokes.
Yes.
Yes, it's a visual gag as well.
What the fuck?
DJ Electro.
He's stimulating all 5 senses with this special.
Yes, DJ Electro, be ready to read those when I bring you on because one might get us here and we might need to read it. So here.
Wait, no, can I go back? Go back just a little bit.
Okay.
Splinters cause pregnancy.
Yes, he said would. And then he goes, oh, because, okay, let's watch it again.
And babies' mamas added just right. So we have wives, mistresses, and babies' mamas are on the roster now. They're now all available, as long as the husband or the significant other is actually an active football player. Otherwise, they have to ride the bench or grab wood, which is probably
Grab-
how they got to be a wife or a mistress in the first place.
Split just cause pregnancies.
Electra like that. That's good.
This joke
Well,
is so fucking confusing.
Splinters cause pregnancy. Now, Austin, just to fill you in, last time
Yes.
we listened to this guy, we got hung up on one joke, and it really derailed the entire program. Still to this day, every once in a while, I'll log into our YouTube studio, and people will speculate as to what the joke meant.
I
in the
think I
comment
solved
section.
it.
You think you solved it, Electra?
Yeah, wasn't it when six down is President Trump's
Native American
Indian name or something?
Yeah.
And I think it's I six down when I pee. You know that song?
Get her
I
out.
sit down when I pee.
I'm sorry. Get out of here.
Come on.
Women always yapping and ruining things.
Anyways,
Just kidding, Electra.
I like having Electra Fryer. I didn't realize how painfully unfunny she was when I met her. I think that's my favorite quality about her.
She's gonna cry now. Thanks a lot, Mike. Now I got a 2-hour call.
I apologize, Electra. It's a charming thing about you. Like it's
Just meet me again. It's all right.
Still funnier than GD Fenderson, sweetie.
Because you're a woman. Like if Craig said something like that, it would be the next 40 minutes of the show. We'd have to stop. But with you, it's like, oh, that's adorable.
No, let's spend 40 minutes here.
So yeah, splinters cause pregnancy. What does that mean in GD's mind?
Ingles, you're the joke writer. Go.
Sure, you're a comic.
There's nothing here that makes any sense to me. Splinters cause infections. They do not cause pregnancies. I don't know.
It's like our team of investigators brought in a consultant, and he's just throwing his arms up immediately. He's like, I've never seen anything like this. I don't know.
This is batshit crazy to me. This joke, this bit has like the beginning and end and middle has. I don't know where the ending is going to go. This is exciting.
Our expert just wrote down sap and cum. He doesn't know what's going on right here.
Just so we can move on, I'm going to put that. Maybe he's saying splinters cause pregnancy. Like the player would be saying, I didn't get you pregnant. It's from the splinters.
It's from riding the bench or riding the wood. I don't. Okay.
I understand the wood is a penis, but
it's a horrible analogy.
It's pretty rough. All right, let's continue.
It's fucking terrible. Sorry.
Maybe he's
it's no 6 down. It's not worth getting this hung up on.
Maybe he's a fan of the Ninja Turtles and just has a weird outlook on it or something. Hey-o! That's a better joke than GD's.
Splinter, massive
Right,
splinter.
I think that's how.
Yes. Yes.
So, I traded Giselle and Janae for Olivia Moon and a baby's mama to be named later.
Moon.
What is the? There would
So this is
have
when
to-
Olivia Moon was dating Aaron Rodgers, which also dates yourself again in the joke.
Oh wait, does he mean Olivia Munn?
Olivia Munn, sorry. Olivia Munn. I went to high school with
Olivia Moon.
Olivia Moon.
I was like, oh, that's some young star I've never heard of, I guess.
Yeah,
The guy I traded
Was that awesome?
traded them to.
Sorry, no, you're good.
Okay.
Well, I was just going to say, hold on, Hackride. We got to dissect these. I know you want to get through it.
I want to get through it.
We got to drink these in. What is the league? So you're trading, let's say, I forget what he said, Giselle for Olivia Moon or
So
something.
Giselle for like Sierra because she's with Russell Wilson.
What's the
Is that what he's
value?
saying?
What's the value
Yeah,
for that?
I
Oh,
would
because
assume
of the
Sierra
guys
would
they're
be-
with?
I don't know. That's the thing too. Are we talking like quality of quarterback or quality of wife? Because Sierra obviously is famous in her own right, so she would, her and Taylor Swift would be at the top, I would assume.
Right. Yeah, maybe they're drafting.
I don't know. This whole thing is just you poke so many holes in it.
He's gonna Pulp Fiction this thing. We don't understand where it is
He's
now,
gonna
but
bring
he's
it
gonna
back
get us there.
around.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
gonna get us there.
It's going to end on a cat. For sure, 100%.
Is that Janae is going to have to ride the bench unless Ray gets back into the league.
Oh, go
And I
back.
said,
Go
you-
back.
you know,
You want to talk topical. You think it's dated because he's making current references. The Ray Rice incident, I believe, happened in 2015,
That sounds
if
right.
I'm not mistaken.
Around that time, yeah.
So
Give or take
quick.
a few years.
A quick 5-6 years later, he figured might as well just mention, without
2014.
saying Ray Rice, by the way, Just
Let me
mention the
sprinkle
woman
in
he
her-
beat up in an elevator.
Yeah.
Janae is going to have to ride the bench.
Go back a little, because I want to see if he
Unless-
mentions Ray Rice.
I don't think he did.
I didn't hear it, but we'll go back.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they have to ride the bench or grab wood, which is probably how they got to be a wife or a mistress in the first place. Right, I think that's how, yeah. So, I traded Giselle and Janae for Olivia Moon.
No, he never said. He just says Janae as if
He just says Janae.
as if it's Beyonce.
Yeah.
Like we all know who he's talking about. He's talking about the woman that Ray Rice beat up in an elevator.
That's his wife.
5 years later, was it his wife or his girlfriend? I couldn't remember.
No, it's his wife now. It was his girlfriend. at the time,
Beyonce. Yeah.
He's talking about it 5 years later and just on a first name basis with her. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
On a first name basis.
And if I can go back to GD, he goes, these wives grab wood, which is probably what makes him a wife or a girlfriend in the first place. I would say that's essential to an adult monogamous relationship is sex.
Yeah.
I would imagine. It's not probably what they do, GD.
His mama to be named later. The guy I traded them to understands that Janae is going to have to ride the bench unless Ray gets back into the league. And I said, you're wasting a draft pick. And he goes, well, don't worry about it. In my mind, Janae's a knockout.
Holy shit!
Too
that
soon.
got
He
nothing.
said too soon.
And when
Go back. He wrote too soon on the screen.
It said too soon. It said 8, 9, 10 too soon. No, buddy. It's past it's too soon, actually.
Yeah, it's way past.
It's expired. It's lumpy.
It's out of the zeitgeist. And I love it. He calls Ray by his first name, too. Like, dude, we forgot about Ray Rice. That's how long it's been.
He never, even if this was a Ravens fan audience, if they said, hey, if this was an anti-Ray Rice benefit, he didn't set the joke up properly. He never mentioned who he was talking about.
Oh, this is good.
I said,
if I can defend the audience here, they're not laughing because it's such a bomb. They're not laughing because he didn't tell them what the fuck he was talking about. It's wild.
You're wasting a draft pick. And he goes, well, don't worry about it. In my mind, Janae's a knockout.
Ooh. I don't know if it's message to Craig. I don't know if it's possible to put silence in the outro.
I have done that head nod before when they don't get the joke. It's painful, but holy shit, it's never been about a Ray Rice joke 6 years after the incident.
That's the greatest silence I've ever heard. And
God.
This is what Tom Myers and GD and these people do is like, so he put the caption up too soon. They never examine themselves and say, why is that such a deafening silence? It's like negative sound. Like it's so silent that it's almost creating sound.
Yeah.
It's like that. It's that room you hear your heartbeat in. It's so quiet.
I can feel the air get sucked out of the room. That's how silent it is. I know.
It's a vacuum. He does comedy in a vacuum.
Holy shit. And then he looked at that and his only self-examination was, this crowd can't take my edgy humor. Because I made a dad joke of she's a real knockout.
Yeah. Oh, that's incredible.
And when it comes to loyalty, you can't beat her.
The audience is on board now.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right,
So
good for them.
I encouraged them. I said, look, if you think she will elevate your standings, oh, come on, elevate your stand. Come on, that's the crucial part of this thing.
Hey, if I'm there, here's how I'm going to help out GD Fenders if I'm in the audience. Just simply raise my hand. GD, who are we talking about? And then he could go, oh, Ray Rice, remember in the elevator? I know I haven't mentioned an elevator yet. Or the people's fucking names that I'm talking about.
I would help him out by handing him a loaded gun and say, here, go home and have fun with us.
Figure out how to use this. See if there's anything you could do.
See if you could write this better than you write a joke.
This needs cleaning. Please go clean this.
God bless.
God bless.
Now, I'm a football fan, less so now than I used to be. And a lot of it's the off-field shenanigans. Now, to be honest, technically speaking and literally speaking, abuse by NFL players of spouse and children is below the national average. It is. It's below. They beat ass less than the general public. We just know about it more because cameras follow them around and don't follow us around. That's it. So.
And he put a little note there.
What the hell is he talking about?
Surveillance and cell phones excluded. Just a little note, a little tag.
Is that what he wrote on the screen?
That's what he wrote on the screen.
I don't even understand. Is that a joke or is that just now? This is the fact portion of the.
Yeah, he's fact checking himself. He's like, oh, fuck, I forgot. So there's surveillance and cell phones. My bad, guys.
That's not of all the things he's said. A thing worth prefacing is not. Well, hey, technically there are cameras everywhere nowadays. We knew what you meant. This is the only thing we knew what you meant, and you couched it with a subtitle.
Is below the national average. It is. It's below. They beat ass less than the general public. We just know about it more because cameras follow them around and don't follow us around. That's it. So we hear about, Adrian Peterson beating his son but can't beat the Packers. We hear about, Aaron Hernandez.
Hackride is adding things to this special to make it so much better.
Number 81. Now he's a tight end taking one.
Oh, go back. That might be a topical Aaron Hernandez joke, I think.
He said, rip Aaron Hernandez. That's the most ripped he's ever been. What the fuck?
We hear about...
Go back.
Aaron Hernandez. Used to be a famous tight end, number 81. Now he's a tight end taking one.
Okay, Aaron Hernandez was long dead.
I was going to say, he was dead for a couple years in 2021, right?
Long dead when this special was put out. Can I ask also?
He even RIPs Hernandez. He knows he's dead.
Rip Hernandez, most ripped he's ever been. What the fuck?
Was Aaron Hernandez? I thought he was in pretty good shape.
He was jacked. He was massive. He was a tight end in the NFL.
And very skilled, as I recall.
Yeah, he was an outstanding tight end.
For those of you, I'm sure many of the people watching remember the charges against Aaron Hernandez.
Yes.
I thought we were talking about beating kids. Remember?
Yeah, and then it just
does murdering 3 adults in cold blood, is that the same as disciplining your kids brutally? It's a weird
tomato, Mike. Tomato.
Closeted gay football player murders 3, talking to kids, same thing. Same diff.
You know how Adrian Peterson and Aaron Hernandez committed the exact same crime. I might as well not even mention both, because you're probably thinking of the same guy.
I don't want to confuse you guys.
That's right. Or Eli Manning, who can't hit his kid because his kid is open.
Oh, my God.
Again, Eli Manning out of the league at this point, I believe.
Out of the league. And he said, that joke is for me. Get it if you can. This whole joke is for you, buddy. We get it.
I get it. You're saying Eli Manning, probably shouldn't be, but he's going to be a Hall of Fame quarterback.
He beat Tom Brady twice in the Super Bowl. That alone speaks for
itself.
Yeah,
I don't
Austin,
as much as you want.
This is a new direction for comedy. You go and tell jokes only to yourself. The whole set's for you. I think we got something here.
I will say, Austin, bring this to Austin, Texas with you this week.
Yes.
I have not heard a lot of jokes about quarterback rating. So if you could implement that, I think you're well on your way, my friend.
That would be hot. I could add that in. I could fit that in.
Excellent. And film that and send that to us, please. Thank you.
Please, yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry. That deserves a bigger applause than that. I fucking love that joke.
Applause. It doesn't deserve a laugh. It deserves an applz.
He did the please clap. He did the please clap.
He liked that so much that he's reprimanding the audience. Why are you laughing at my brilliance when I said Eli Manning is a somewhat inaccurate quarterback?
And the joke's only for him. And then he reprimands him for not getting it. This is so confusing.
Well, he'd like it to be for them, too. But
get it if you can.
That is what, to Austin's point, that's what he should put on every joke. Like, this one's for me, guys.
That's what I'm saying. It's perfect set. You didn't like any of it? It's all for me.
I'm sorry. That deserves a bigger applause than that. I fucking love that joke. Okay, I fucking love that joke.
That's a great. Can I say that's a great Austin, you can take this. That's a great title for a comedy special. This one's for me.
I was just, yep.
I like that.
This is all for me.
I fucking love it. And the only reason why I did that joke, did all the other shit, so I could say that, because I wasn't even going to talk about that. This is actually this part. It says right here, female coaches. I'm supposed to be talking about female coaches. Now,
Jesus.
That riff was just for you guys, okay? I just wanted you to know that riff was just for you guys. I'm not even supposed to be talking about this.
I'm not even here right now. That's what you don't realize.
I could have bored you from column A, but I bored you from column B.
Now, all right, buckle up for his take on female coaches, I guess.
Sarah Thomas, she's a referee all of last season. No controversies, which is a good thing.
I hate to keep correcting GD for these minor hangups I have. Does he think referee and coach is the same position?
Yep.
They're on the field.
They're on the field,
this coach is calling a penalty.
This coach has a whistle. Anyone who has a whistle is a coach to GD. You know? There's a referee. Here we go.
You don't want to be the first of something and fuck up. That's it. I mean, that's your only job, is to be not to be talked about. If Obama really had fucked up, we wouldn't be getting another colored president. Orange, but he's colored.
How did we get there?
That was a leap.
How did that turn into a Trump joke? and Trump's last year of presidency, to be
What's
exact,
amazing,
2021.
I like a lot of comics that take a direction you may not be expecting.
Oh, Misdirection is the name of the game. I love Misdirection. It's my favorite.
Without a
comic
doubt.
joke to write. Yeah.
Without a doubt. But I'm not sure it's the right type of misdirection. The fact that he brought up female coaches.
I don't think he knows what misdirection means.
So he brings up female coaches in the NFL, and within 2 lines, he's at Donald Trump's presidency. How did that happen?
Comedy. That's how it happens, baby.
I wasn't going to go here, guys, but you got me riffing.
He got from some female ref to Obama to Trump in the matter of 8 or 9 words.
Impressive.
And getting half of them wrong, which is also impressive.
If he was that bad, they'd pick the white.
Yes. Orange is the new black with the tag there. We can't forget the tags.
A show that
you know what's funny?
For what, a couple years?
Can I tell you what's funny? I thought Austin was saying he should have tagged it with that, and I was about to give kind of a polite, like, okay, Austin, well, whatever. I didn't realize this moron put it in his comedy special.
I have nothing to offer this guy as far as writing and comedy, so I won't be adding anything of value.
Mike Morris's hands are thrown in the air on this one. I can't help you, bro.
Orange is the new black. Okay.
Woman, but they got the orange man. Okay.
There is 105 more minutes of this. Just FYI.
Oh God. I want to play a little more. If he's done with the NFL chunk, maybe we'll end. But I want to hear a little more about where he's going next.
We can do this all week.
That's right. This comedy special is going to take us a few years to get through, I think. So.
Yeah, with the breakdown.
And an emphasis on special, not comedy.
So Sarah Thomas did a good job. See, not like, let's say Ed Hockley, who really pisses me off.
You gotta
a referee?
You gotta give him this. Yeah, Ed Hockley.
He's the guy,
one of the better known refs in NFL history, for sure.
He was born on Christmas, but Jesus is what the caption says.
Oh, we got to go back now.
But does GD Fenderson write all his jokes from like 2019? Because every reference, Ed Hockley hasn't been in the league since like 2018. Like, what is
he? He's a topical guy, yeah. And this was topical at the time. Remember, it's week 11 of the NFL season. Don't forget.
And he just traded Giselle, who's still around.
Let's try and compliment him here, because I will admit, the first thing that came to my mind is, wow, I've never heard Ed Hockley referenced in a comedy special.
That is insane.
So that's
That is-
something. Like that's a feather in his cap.
Yes.
Oh. So Sarah Thomas did a good job. See, not like, let's say Ed Hockley, who really pisses me off. And I'm still pissed at him for something he
I don't
want to
go on a rant
ago.
here.
How can he be pissed? He's maybe dead by now. Ed, are you still alive out there? He's in a senior home. He's mad at him right now. He's like licking a wall, and this guy's talking about him.
I think you probably remember when Detroit was like going like, they were trying to go 0-20, but there's only 16 games in the season. Megatron had this beautiful catch in the end zone. He had 2 feet in, 2 hands on
He's
the ball.
talking about specific NFL games from the past.
It was 3rd and 8, Mike.
Stopped for pictures, and they said no catch.
What year is it? Isn't this Calvin Johnson play also from like 2016 or something?
Yeah,
Yes,
he retired shortly after probably this.
This is like the frozen caveman lawyer from Saturday Night Live. He was like thought out and just in 2016 has all the references.
And this Dan Marino kid, I think he's going places. He's a gunslinger.
Okay, I had money on that, and my mama's dentures were riding on that game. Because the one she
already
had
has the dentures.
He bet them. Yeah,
Take
now
them
she
out of
has
her
to-
mouth.
Yeah, got to give him away now.
I just want to get. We'll keep playing this for a little bit. I just want to get to the bit where he says that Ryan Leaf is going to be better than Peyton Manning.
Oh, well, we got from a guy in the band who knew a guy who knew a guy.
He's like, this Nick Saban is going to be amazing in the NFL.
Who made Legos, but when she wasn't using her teeth, we made some badass toys. No, but it's frustrating because
Good Lord, I'll say, GD, Jesus.
Yes, yeah, that one was bad.
you're watching a game with your mother, and she took her teeth out because it hurts, but she's not eating the chips; she's just sucking the flavor off.
Oh, this is a
putting them
GD
back.
staple that Austin isn't aware of yet. You might think a joke is done. Like, you might think that was just a throwaway line about the dentures.
Mm-hmm.
My bet, as a student of GD Fenderson, we're going to hear a lot more about this mother and her teeth.
Oh, thank God.
Like, it seemed like just a throwaway line, like, I bet my mother's dentures on the game. This feels, and I don't know this yet, I haven't watched this far in. This feels like we're on the cusp of a very long dentures joke.
It kind of sounds like he just like abandoned whatever nonsense he was talking about and just like
More about my mother.
Yeah, just somehow made it about his mom.
Watching a game with your mother, and she took her teeth out because it hurts, but she's not eating the chips; she's just sucking the flavor off and putting them back in the bowl.
A very relatable incident.
You don't know how fucking frustrating it is. You put a chip and all the flavor's gone. That's Ed Hockley.
Hold on.
I don't think that's
He's
ever happened. But.
He's appealing to the audience. The situation he's talking about. And, listen, I'm sure Woody Allen covered this years ago, probably. So it's already been. You know how you dig into a bowl of chips and an old woman has already sucked on most of them?
Yes.
And put it back into the chip box or bag.
What the fuck is he talking about? I will say this. It's how you know GD's authentic. This definitely happened because why the fuck else would his mind go here? I imagine GD has a mother who is sucking on chips and putting them back in the bowl.
That's an incredible point.
Or is this what GD does at parties and he's just outing himself?
It's also possible.
Fucking Ed Hockley.
How do we get back to Ed Hockley? Hold on, go back. We must have missed something.
I swear I didn't. I just
no.
Now let me add this, and again, I'm just repeating things that people have heard a million times. But I should have added to that bit. You know how you reach for a bowl of chips and an old lady has already sucked on them? Oof, that fucking Ed Hockley, right, guys?
That's genuinely funny. All right, I got to give it up, GD.
You just gave him a compliment, Mike. You said, you know how a million people have heard this. No, I don't think a million people will ever hear this.
This
They
is a
will
good
now.
Sucking
You're
the
giving
flavor
them a
off.
platform.
Thank you, buddy. Yes.
And putting them back in the bowl.
Oh, she should have swallowed was the tag there, by the way. Talking about his mother. Yes, or his grandmother.
He should have
I agree.
chewed.
That's the one thing. The one thing I can agree is that his mother should have swallowed, so we didn't have to endure this shit.
Hey-o! Joke of the day.
We got to put Austin and GD in. Austin could punch up this act pretty well, I think.
I don't even think I can. There's nothing to fucking. There's no salvaging of this nonsense.
Well, that's the show. You just sit off stage with the mic and you talk to the audience about how weird this is. That's the show.
Yeah.
You don't know how fucking frustrating it is. You put a chip and all the flavor's gone. That's Ed Hockley. Fucking Ed Hockley.
Oh, I see.
So now
Ed Hockley is the
Is a
equivalent.
flavorless chip.
He's a chip that's been sucked on by a woman without her dentures.
That sounds delightful, to be honest.
That old adage.
Maybe he's just trying to hook up his grandma on Ed. Who knows?
To be respectful to the ladies, think about how awesome it would be to get sucked off by a chick with dentures. I mean, is there anything better in this life?
You make a good point, Austin. That is true.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, the Bills have a female coach, but she's what? The coach in charge of special teams, coordinated something. I don't even know what the fuck she does. I don't know. But as long as she doesn't fuck up, she should be good.
Special teams is a very common football term.
Yeah.
A special teams coordinator? I don't remember that. I don't remember the Bills having a female special teams coordinator. But if that's her title, that's not some mysterious like. Well, what the fuck does she even do then? It's pretty self-explanatory.
She's out there dancing and kicking the balls, shopping,
But my point is, why stop there? Women should be head coaches. I mean, that's it.
The tag is already head nurses.
I'm plain simple. Women should be head coaches.
I don't
and
get it.
I don't.
They're already head nurses.
Get it?
Get
Head?
it? Yes.
No, I understand head is a blowjob, but
Right. That was
they're
it.
already head nurses. I don't get it.
I don't think
a
we're meant
job
to
for
get-
women.
Yes. It's a job for gummy grandmas.
But is it that? But that's the point of the sentence in general. Is like women haven't had this opportunity. They should. That's what he's saying.
Yes.
Why add that?
Why not? You have a typewriter. You got a video. Make it, add some stuff to it.
That's a good point. I asked and answered.
We're covering it here. There's 180 people watching. GD, you did it right.
I don't think this video will ever get dissected as much as we are doing right now. Like in the history, the world could end and this could be the only clip left.
No, well-
And I don't think they dissect it as much.
We can only. I hope that I have
hope
laid
not.
claim. Listen, I've stolen. I joked about Carl earlier in the program. I've taken plenty from him. Listen, we have a guy with a filter that makes games for us, as I always say. So I've taken
Loser.
plenty from Carl. One thing I could have on my own is GD Fenderson. I think that's one. When I'm on my deathbed, the one thing I'll have to my name is that I'm the only guy that talked about GD Fenderson.
That is kind of dope. That is.
I think we've talked about it more than he spent writing this whole thing, and it's like 2 hours long. I think it took him 2 hours to write this 2-hour special.
He didn't dissect any of this that we're doing.
No, you would jump off a bridge if you did, and you had any sort of artistic integrity.
Now I'm at the point where I kind of want to wrap up, but I just want to end this NFL stuff. But he's still on fucking Ed Hockley.
We're stuck here forever.
Or no, I'm sorry. He's moved to female coaches. That's right.
Yes, we died at 7 a.m., and this is our eternal hell. Here we go.
They go, he said head coach. No. I mean, like in charge of the team.
Oh, man.
No one thought you meant blowjob except for you.
She was right. Because the tag here is just getting veiled fellatio reference.
Hey, Electra, is she in here?
Yeah, she's right.
I want to apologize to you.
Okay.
Earlier, I said you were not that funny. You have the
Yes.
exact same mindset as GD Fenderson, so I apologize. You're even one step ahead of him, so I take it all back. I'm sorry.
I accept your apology.
Thank you.
Oh, God, she's going to give it to me. Thanks, Mike.
Keep up with me. There was no PowerPoint at the end of this thing
Keep up with him.
to explain the
Keep up with him.
jokes. Okay, if you don't get it tonight, you're gonna have to buy the DVD and then go play it real slow. Say, oh.
DVD. What year did he put this out?
We've already established this. He's from 2016, but the special's from 2022. So he's just backwards.
But he's releasing it in 2004, it seems.
Yes, on Laserdisc.
You guys are going to go home, and you're going to be watching the VHS of this special, and you're going to think to yourselves, wow, now I get it. Now that I have the subtitles for context.
You're going to put this on your half-inch reel-to-reel.
You guys are going to load this to your Nickelodeon later, and I swear.
Oh, hey, put that one away, Electra. Put that one away. We'll come back.
Oh, fuck, I get it now.
Oh, God, these tags.
So.
One more. Here we go.
But most of these players, when they were kids, they were taken to games by their moms. I mean, that's who did it. That's who invested all the time. The moms, they cleaned the uniforms. The moms, they're the ones
the moms are the troops. I imagine that's where we're going. The moms are the
That was
heroes.
his tag. His tag was hoping to meet their new dads.
Yeah, we always ended a dick joke with this guy. I think he's going for a dick joke somewhere here.
Oh, I can't wait.
This is kind of like, I understand GD's a person of color, but that's like just kind of, doesn't it seem racist in a way? He's just assuming NFL players don't have dads?
Yeah, I'm not sure he's a guy of color, honestly. I mean, I've been in black barbershops. They're funny. Are we sure? Can we get a melanin check on this man? He sounds like a white dude.
I agree with that, Hackride. This seems like a white guy trying to be black in every way.
Yes. We have a Dozier or whatever her name is situation.
Doja Cat?
No, the one.
Rachel Dolezal.
Yeah, Dolezal. We have
yes,
a comedic Dolezal situation.
That's a 2021 reference that could fucking.
Yeah, that fits right into GD's timeline.
A little too close to home, though, I think, for me. Here we go.
This is on top. The moms are the ones that help them study the playbooks. The moms are the ones that make sure they got the good steroids and not the ones from the people who sold my mama her dentures.
What?
Oh, we're back on the dentures.
See, moms, they're the ones. The moms are like the glue that holds Little League football together. Okay, they're the ones
definitely not literally. They're definitely not literally the glue. Unless you're talking about mother horses, I suppose. They're not literally the glue that holds football together.
Well, their orange slices make sure everything works, Mike.
That literally is what I'm hung up on.
Oh, yes.
They're the ones like, first of all, I have no grudge that my mother cheered louder for my nephew than she did for me. No problem. Because, for one, he played football. I was on the debate team.
Oh, we got to read this tag. Jack of all trades, masturbate none. Hey-o.
And it says jack off all trades.
Oh, sorry.
None.
Jack off all trades. I read it wrong.
It doesn't. It's just so crass and unnecessary.
Yeah.
I don't even get it. I have to watch this again. Hold on.
Because, for one, he played football. I was on the debate team.
Jack off all trades, masturbate none.
What other trades are you good at? Because you were on the debate team and you can't even fucking.
He's having a whole conversation. I don't understand.
It's interesting. That's what's fascinating about watching a special like this is we can all have different perspectives. You guys are hung up on that. While I'm on, he's talking about his nephew playing football, and that inspired him to say, jack off all trades, masturbate none. What the fuck does that have to do with what he's talking about?
Man,
it's comedy, baby.
Football. I was on the debate team. And it's really hard to get really excited over some point I made. Like, that's right, boy. You tell him about the Emancipation Proclamation.
Well, this is here's the flaw in this joke. He already said she didn't cheer for him on debate team. It's not, the bit is not that she was really passionately cheering. He says she didn't cheer for me because I was on the debate team. And then he's like, because that would be crazy, right? Yes.
Oh, Mike,
like-
this joke has fallen apart on itself 7 times now.
But the thing is, Mike is like a joke sniper. He's like in there way before everyone else and sees where it's going. That's amazing, Mike.
Yes, I speak GD.
It's like you've studied comedy forever or something.
It doesn't work. You tell her about Brown versus the Board of Education. Yay. No, she got excited for my nephew, though.
You were
She
debating
kept
that?
Yelling, you get him, Mark! You get him! You rip off his head and shit down his neck!
When was GD in school that they were debating Brown versus the Board of Education? I think it's no good. Get rid of it. Segregate these schools.
This is a unique opinion. GD.
I'm getting exhausted with GD, so we got to find a good place to stop. I'm hoping
Any
for one
place.
coming up. Yeah.
All right. The next. How about the next tag? Next tag, we're out.
Yes, there we go.
Nice.
What? What are you talking about? And my mom's being escorted off the field. You hurt my arm. I did not call the referee a pussy. He's much too sensitive to be a pussy. He's a scrotum. That's what he is.
Wait, what?
Because it hurts to get kicked in the nuts, I think. Maybe.
Okay. All right. Or
If I'm picking
because
apart this.
because a man comes more easily than a woman?
That too.
Oh, okay, that's it. I'm willing
It's
to give him that
horrible.
one. It's better than some of his others.
It straddles the line of comedy. We're close. We're adjacent.
That feels ripe for a subtitle. He doesn't give that one?
No subtitle yet, but we might be nearing. Yeah, we're almost there.
And you're pretty strong for a rent-a-cop. You single?
Oh, there it is. How she met my stepfather. That's the tag. How she met
It's
my
all a
stepfather.
beautiful How I Met Your Mother joke.
Oh, how she met
It all goes back.
No, Mike, don't go into
we
it.
Didn't know you had we didn't know you had a stepfather. Give a shit.
We're just gonna let go. We're dropping out right there.
All right, we're done. Until next time. That's our visit with GD Fenderson. Boy, where are we? Can you give me the timestamp on that so I know for next time?
Yeah, I'll find it for you. I'll get it for you. I took it off the screen.
I'm
before I
imagining
did.
we're still only 20 some odd minutes into this 2 hour.
We're not very far into it.
I was gonna say that was probably what, 5 minutes into that shit?
Yeah, so I had one section here called part 1. It's 21 minutes. And then I had part 2. It's 91 minutes. So there's still like a 2 hours left.
I can't believe that's making me now think. I can't believe we got through 15 minutes the first time. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah.
How did we sit through that?
Well, Craig just lets stuff go. He didn't tell you about the tags,
To
He's
call
got-
back
he's
to
got-
Matt Rife, that was a special as in retarded.
That's right. GD has really brought it back. Just inspired us
Yeah.
through his material to
Yeah,
bring
we
back
can
the
now
word
say that
retarded.
word based off of GD or whatever the fuck his name is.
all I know is this: if Matt Rife played that video before his shows, I mean, he's coming out as Dave Chappelle, right? I'm laughing at every Matt Rife joke if I see it, and that's what bands used to do. Bands used to take shitty bands to open for them, so they would sound amazing. This
Well,
man
that's
could be a
common thing
millionaire.
to bring a shitty opener to make yourself sound better. That's a thing that people do for sure.
So I went. Everyone watching this knows that I was an attendant for Heartbreak and Havre de Grace, the Dat fan Tom Myers debacle. I really believe that there is money because it was a great show. Like me and Justin and Drew Peeballs and all the other guys, we had a lot of fun there. I believe there's money to be made in GD and excuse me, Tom Myers and all these guys branding themselves as like the world's worst comedy tour. Something like that. If they can come up with maybe a catchy name for it or something.
The Hackback, baby, the Hackback.
There's
The
something
Hackback.
there's money to be made there because it was an entertaining show. Like just now it's more niche than say a good comedy show. But they would be more successful at that than just what they're doing, like pretending they're comedians. You know,
I would go see it.
Yes.
Electra, it's a date. We're in.
Let's go.
This sounds like a mission for Carl. He does these shows every once in a while, right? These live shows. bring some of these lolcows on to do stand-up. So you can just watch them and then make fun of them afterward. Pay them heavily, and it would be great for everyone.
But that's the thing with like Carl. They don't want to play ball like the guys like Patrick Michael and them. They won't play ball. If they could just, I suppose that's what makes them great. Is that they think they're like Tom Myers thinks he's a great comic, and I suppose that innocence is what makes him what he is. But if he just had one tiny ounce of self-awareness, enough to brand it as something people would go check out, I think there's money to be made there. But who knows?
Austin, can I ask you? I'm not a comedian. I've never done stand-up, but GD strikes me as a host. Like, is he like a host? Like that guy would introduce comics.
I wouldn't even give him that.
No, okay.
He can't get through a sentence.
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
The host, a lot of people, they're like, oh, it doesn't matter if you eat dick as a host. I disagree. I think that you should come, especially if you're getting your start in comedy. That's usually when they put you as a host first. I think that's when you do your best shit to kick off the show. I just hosted for a guy recently, and he said he appreciated that I did bits instead of crowd work because I got the crowd ready for a comedy show. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's an art to it. So GD has zero artistic ability. So throw him in the back. Never allow him to be a comic, in my opinion. But hey,
A closer, you're saying? I see what you're saying.
A closer.
A seat emptier is what it is. We need everyone out of here, is what you're saying. Yeah. All right, we have some super chats, Mike.
All right, let's catch up on that and then get the hell out of here.
Yes. All right. Are you there, Electra?
By the way, before we hit, just go follow Austin Ingels, by the way. Is it A Ingels 23 on all platforms?
No, that it's just it's this. I should just put it all as one thing. Go to YouTube. It's just Austin Ingels Comedy, and Instagram. It's A Ingels on the gram, and Ingels is INGELS. Just search Austin Ingels, you'll find me.
Yes. Here's his link. I found it on Instagram, and at the bottom there you see his YouTube link. So make sure you go check him out. He's very funny.
Go follow us.
Thank you. I appreciate this. This has been a fucking awesome. I appreciate you for having me, dude. This is beyond more fun than I imagined it being. I'm not in a bad way. I didn't know what to expect.
You thought it would suck. It would suck, and it was okay. We get it. We understand.
Yes. You will be our AZT lollipop forever.
Yes.
Yes, Austin. I saw you on a 30-minute half hour with David Collins before.
Ah, thank you. Thank you for
So
watching that. Yeah,
I knew
shout out
who
to
you
David
were.
Collins who made all this possible. You know what I mean?
Yes, he's in the chat. Hello, David Collins.
Oh, hello, David Collins.
David, good guy. Good
David,
man.
thank you for mentioning me on Carl's program, because God knows Carl wasn't going to do it,
God damn you, Carl.
Yes, some of us remember where
Mike,
we came
I would
from.
like to offer an invitation. I don't know when we'll do this. We can plan it out in the future, but I'd like you to come on my podcast. We'll get a movie to talk about, and we'll figure something out from there. You know what I mean?
Anytime, man.
If you're into that.
Oh,
me
thanks
too.
for the invite.
Yeah, thanks a lot, man.
I mean, bring the crew.
Also,
you know what
nice
I
of you
mean?
to ask me on the air, so I kind of have to say yes.
Yeah, that's good. That's you trap him in the answer on air.
You guys,
You're
I'm
doing
not
it right,
I'm
Austin.
not a podcast pro like you guys. So
No, you're showing it. That's a pro move. That's a pro move for sure.
I'm
100%.
showing my ass is what I'm doing.
Let's catch up on these super chats and get the hell out of here.
All right, Nick West, $2 super chat. Are we sure GD isn't using a laugh track? I'm pretty sure he was.
I tried.
Sounds
I
just
don't.
like that one.
I don't think he is, because most of these guys are pretty bad at editing. So, props to him. If he is, he's better than his peers at dubbing it in.
He's better at editing than he is a comic. Yeah,
for sure.
It's not a laugh track because it is a sympathy laugh. It's like it takes 30 seconds and it eventually comes. It's not a laugh track.
Yeah, and there was so much room to have put it in that Ray Rice joke.
Yes, a lot of silence.
I was
there.
begging for a laugh track.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And from Ben R, we got a $20 super chat. Love the show. I look forward to it every week.
Oh, thank you, buddy. Very nice.
Thank you, Ben.
Ben, shout out to Ben.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Ben.
Yeah,
All
that's all
right.
Mike.
Well, thank you guys. By the way, go check out. We've been promoting Austin. Also, go check out Hackride if you haven't already. And DJ Electrofry.
Yes.
Is Electra doing a show now on her own?
Yes, she does a show
I
before
am.
mine.
Let me
Yes, and
speak.
What are you?
I am doing my own
puppet master?
show.
Let
It's
her
called
talk.
Catch 22. Did you watch it, Blind Mike?
I have not checked it out yet, but I will.
He's on the
I gotta
air at
give
the
you a
same
follow.
time.
Oh, yeah. What the hell, Electra? You're going up against who are these socials? Who do you think you
Yeah,
are?
what the hell, Electra?
I didn't even know about it beforehand.
No,
But
that's
I
my
might
fault.
change that. I might
Yeah, we're
change
moving
it.
it. We're moving it back.
I'm sure it's fine.
Yes, our 18 followers are really nudging into your 1,000 over there. Tell Carl to chill out.
It's is that all on Hackride's YouTube channel?
Yes, it's on my YouTube channel, and we're so close to 1,000 people. Come on, subscribe.
Get Hackride over 1,000 for God's sake.
Yes.
And get us over 6,000 on YouTube. All of that. Get everyone's numbers up. Pump these babies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So check out
Seriously
Hackride.
though, Mike, thank you for everything. I really do appreciate it. This has been awesome. So
Austin, thank you so much, buddy.
Anytime you want me back, honestly, anytime.
All right, brother. Thank you,
I'm
buddy.
your guy.
Next time, put your camera on its side, you Iowa tech master.
Is this bad? Is this
No,
bad?
it's perfect. No, you're perfect.
I was looking for my camera holder, and of course I couldn't find it when I needed it. So that's what happens.
Just get a stalk of corn, tape it to it. Hey-o.
Fun Iowa jokes. Austin, thank you, buddy. We'll let you get out of here.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate you coming on. All right, brother.
Oh,
yeah. Well, I guess you could have waited for me to say blindmike.net, but that's okay. Go to blindmike.net as well. And, you guys know how to support the show everywhere you can, whether it's this program, which is live Sundays at 10, for those of you that listen later. Why Are You Laughing? Which this week we've got the great Kirk Minahan on. And Who Are These Socials? Thursdays at 6. That's me and Carl. So check all those out. All the links are at blindmike.net. And you can become a Patreon or YouTube member if you so choose. And turn on gifted memberships and all of that as well. And is that it, Hackride? Anything else?
That's it. You did a great job. Go enjoy some football.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you, Electra Fry. And I guess Craig will be back next week.
Triggers. Thanks for having me.
See you guys.
Bye.
Mike Project is now over. The Blind Mike Project is now over. The Blind Mike Project is now over. Now you can go and masturbate. Listen now, Blind Mike Project is now over. The Blind Mike Project is now over. The Blind Mike Project is now over. How vigorously go and masturbate.
Triggers.